Oops. I just full disclosure. Yes, I'm late. Okay. Yes, I'm late, but for good reason. I was trying to find the video from that I did with regards to Umnube and his solitary confinement because I want us to listen to it together as a family. With regards to the solitary confinement and the fact that it is Gininda, the one and only, who's on page 283 of Paula Sullivan's book and is also known as an ice boy over there at the Malanga Commission, Braji, G for Kininda, quite literally. But yeah, that's the reason why. I'm so sorry. So let me put it out there. It is my fault that I'm late, but I'm late for good reasons. I'm late for good reasons. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another great edition. This is your host, of course, the one and only Witness You. Please let me know in the comment section if you can hear me loud and clear so that we can get this show started. Boo, 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 boo. Drop a one in the comment section so I know you are here. Da 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 da. Let me also look through your comments. I see you guys did send out a few comments while waiting for me. Thank you so much for exercising patience. Yeah. Thank you so much. We are here. The show is getting started. I just need to know you can hear me. Okay, we've got one JJ can hear. So that's it. That's all I need to know. We are good to go. Oh, finally. Something was happening with my headphones, so I wasn't hearing myself well. So that's why I was like, something's wrong. Something is wrong. So let's do this. Let's get this live stream started. You already know house rules over here. We start with our greeting. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another great edition. This is your host, of course, the one and only. Yes, I can only be the one and only Witness You. Somebody tell Malanga Commission Witness You is already taken. Um, Speaking of Malanga Commission, okay, wait. I'm digressing on my own greeting. Let me finish my greeting and then I'll tell you something about the Malanga Commission. So, this is your host, of course, Witness You, and I confirm my presence on behalf of members of the public jury. Vandava, that's you, okay? As well as the watching briefs. No, not the watching brief that was in the courtroom. No, not that one. The real watching briefs, because those of us who are inside Pagati within day in, day out, watching the SENZO MEYIWA trial. I did get a comment, guys. I got a comment from someone who said, wait, you guys are still, you're still watching the trial? I haven't watched in a while. What's going on? Can you give us a quick update? Wow. Hmm. I don't know. There's like many videos that you can update yourself on. But to leave a comment asking for a quick update, there's nothing quick about the Senza Mayweather trial. Let's just call a spade a spade. There is absolutely nothing quick about the Senza Mayweather trial. So we are getting started. We are getting into our video. And I also want to confirm my presence on behalf of the working gang. Okay. Fun facts. Okay. Guilty confession. Working gang are my favorite. Okay, not favorite. Let's say they have a soft spot in my heart, especially when they come through the comment section and then they let me know what time it is. Okay. They let me know how they're watching the videos, which is why I absolutely find these comments hilarious. So let me read you this one. It says, from where I'm sitting, I only run to Mzansi Unfiltered every day after work. I listen to the case every day from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., hiding my earphones underneath my headband so that my boss doesn't see. So for me, Witness You is the only female broadcaster I follow 100%, especially with this case. No one compares to Mzansi Unfiltered. You guys really know how to write love letters, huh? This is a love letter, but I love it so much. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for giving me a quick laugh. Actually, I laughed so hard. I'm like, wait, but where? I don't understand the headband thing. Where is the headphone? I love the dedication that you guys have in listening in. So if you're a casual viewer, you watch the Senzu Meyiwa trial here and there once in a while. Don't worry, Mzansi Unfiltered has got you. Okay, I got all the videos that will keep you up to date. Catch up once in a while. Do like a binge watching. I have it all organized, the playlists, everything is there. Okay. All you have to do is come home. Come home to Mzansi Unfiltered, and then you will be sorted. Okay. So, with that said, I want to then dive into today's video. We're going to start with what I want to say is let's start with solitary confinement. I want us to start there. Well, let's go back in time. Let's go back to what happened there. Let me go ahead and see if the video will play well. And I'll be back, of course, with the rest of my commentary.
Can you just start with
this is the message, my lord. The court cannot compel me to start, my lord. I'm a creature of instructions. If I don't have instructions to start, I can't start. But this is
So,
what is saying.
Mr.
Yes.
Are you saying if your client says you mustn't start, you're not going to start?
No, but my lord, I
No, I'm
need
just
to have
asking.
instructions. I cannot act against his instructions. And this is what he's saying. Ikoto uma ifuna ukuqhubeka ngenkani yayo.
I know I owe some of you guys a translation, interpretation from the SENZO MEYIWA and McG podcast. So I apologize that I overlooked and didn't translate this bit. So this is my attempt to translate because this is a shorter clip. Accused number 3, Mr. Mncube, says,
if the court is being stubborn and wants to continue, well then, go right ahead.
Kodwa mina yazi ukuthi ngihlukumezekile engqondweni.
But let it be known that I am tormented, I'm traumatized, I'm tortured mentally.
I'm trying to find the right words to substitute. So those are some of the words that I can put there. Let me know in the comment section if I got it right, guys.
Ngicabanga indlela engihlukumezeke ngayo.
I think about how I'm suffering, how I'm tormented. Ukuhlukumeza.
That's the word I'm struggling to find, the one word that I can translate it for you. But basically, that's the gist.
Those are
fine.
instructions.
I sympathize, and I'm very human about this situation. That's why I'm saying you can bring an urgent application against the correctional services, the minister.
I hope you found that helpful. It is all me talking. I just adjusted the voice. Well, I changed the tone to male. Just, to personalize the translation. No, I'm not kidnapped. I'm going to respond to your messages. I saw all your messages, so I'm going to do a separate video for that. Because okay. So fun fact, I never listen to my own videos. After I upload, I do not go back to listen. I'm like, wait, what? How did I do that? When did I do this? Is hilarious. Hilarious listening to that clip from back in the day. Okay, so this was the beginning, the very, very beginning of us finding out that Ngube is like, okay, if the judge wants to continue to be stubborn, as we know, Judge Rutter is stubborn. I think you can agree. Drop a 2 in the comment section if you agree that Judge Rutter is stubborn. If he continues to be stubborn and wants to continue this case while I am being hlukumezwed, I can't do it. Those were the instructions that Umnisi put to the court. Personally, I appreciate that he did that because that was the beginning of how he actually got out of solitary confinement, which is alleged that Kininda put him in there because he's in a high-profile case. That time, there's 5 of them that are charged with the unaliving of SENZO MEYIWA. And at the time, when we first saw them at the Boksburg Magistrate Court and Becky Chele was there, telling us just how bad they are. And we were all like saying, oh my God, these are the people that took the life of SENZO MEYIWA. And then the evidence started ticking. And then the full story started coming out. And then Zungunaiza came and just didn't make sure for me, a layman. What was quite disappointing was to hear a learned colleague, place it on the record as if it's fact, only to find out he's just a policeman, Gulugudu, who invented a story about Gwabini. Remember, we all along, all these years, thought Gwabini, was this bad wolf. Bad Mgulugudu. Bad Mkabi leader. Bad, he took the life of Osnako. Bad, he threw away the firearm in the river. Bad, he collected the firearms that night. And bad, he told Zungunaiza to come out while he talks to the 5 accused before they head on over to take the life of SENZO MEYIWA. Remember that? That's what the state was feeding us. And that's the problem with being fed and not reading the ingredients on the package. You're just going to be fed poison. Slow poison at that. I think that this week was one of the biggest weeks in terms of revelation of the Senzo Meyiwa trial. And we just literally put it on the table. Kininda and I are past known associates. We know each other. And Nisi goes, you know each other? Yeah, we know each other. And Nisi's like, you know what? I'm not even gonna ask. But in the background, you guys came to tell me in the comment section that over there at the masterminds, Patricia Mashale and Jobs, they have been talking about Kinenda, the taxis, the taxi bosses. So it's alleged that Ngube took the life of Kininda's close taxi boss friend. And this is just a personal vendetta. So that's how I was like, wait, let me go back because I think I want to believe I did hear in the videos at the beginning. We're going to play another one where Ngube says that, yeah, he's in solitary confinement thanks to the gracious nature of Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda, who's on page 283 of Paul O'Sullivan's book, also known as the Ice Boy, at the Madanga Commission. And then someone came in the comment section and says, wait, it's the cold drink unit and he's the ice boy. So the cold drink unit also has ice. You guys are absolutely hilarious. I love the humor that we carry together as a family. But then let me just quickly let me quickly come through and check out the comments. Okay. We do have Temba. Hi, Temba. Zungu's so-called handwritten statement is missing. Oh, I got to put that on the list. Okay. Wait, hold the line. 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 Let me write that down. Wait, where am I writing it down? Let me make sure. Oh, yeah, I can write it here. So that is point number 6. Zungu's so-called. I like that you call it so-called. Why couldn't he handwrite it again? Because it's handwritten, right? It's not like the OP books. You can't fake those. Handwritten statement is missing. We're going to go through the list together. Okay, Prince is here. Shout out to Prince. Hi, Prince. How are you doing? Welcome home. Welcome home. Prince says, do we have the report from IBIS after Mangena entered the projectile or the bullet jacket in the system? That is, if at all, it was entered after the court asked if it would be. See, when it comes to ballistics evidence, me and Sipora Musipili were there. We were listening to Mangena. We too can be said we're now FBI trained. So those of you who don't know what IBIS is. So IBIS is the police SAP system that is used countrywide to track and document firearms. It's the system that actually got Vusimuzikat Matlala and his Mgulugutus in the case that they're currently in right now. So they were arrested and the firearms were tested. Okay. The firearms were collected when they unalived. Oh gosh, why am I forgetting his name? Arman Swatch. It's because I was thinking of Arman Pekula, the one who took DJ Waris's life. The names are starting to be too many and they're starting to rhyme. Okay, so it's Arman Swat. On the 17th of April 2024, they took his life. Pew, 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 pew. They pew, pewed him. Wrong person. And then, they made a couple of mistakes and then they were captured. And then when they took those firearms, and it was the legit ballistic testing. Remember, there was the fake ballistic testing that was done at Silverton. I'm not saying that everyone at Silverton is fake. I'm just saying, let's just raise our eyebrows for Silverton. And then when the ballistics were done at Manzim Toto, over there in the KZN tiny little province, the ballistics went ding, ding, a lot of alerts came out, and then the firearms showed that, oh, this is the one for Tebo Kotobejani. Oh, this is the one for Joe Simanyoni. This is the one for DJ. Da, da, da. It just going all the bullets in the system started to match on this IBIS system. So Mnube is saying, okay, so you're saying my firearm that was in an opened evidence bag at the Cleveland police station and Mangena I went there and picked it up, and he says, "Oh, it's an open sealed bag. Oh, perfect. Just the way I love it. Just the way the FBI taught us." And then he takes that bag and then he goes to test it. And then he says, "No, no, I had to retest it because the first test that was done by, I think it's Rulofs. Yeah. So him. He didn't quite do a thorough job. And besides, I'm Mangena, Chris Mangena, the Chris Mangena from the Oscar Pistorius trial. I kind of have a little bit of privileges, and I'm renowned now, so I can do whatever I want, like take an open evidence sealed bag, bring the firearm into Silverton, not document it, and then do my testing, and then get my colleagues to double up my testing, and then guess what? Not return it anywhere or document it anywhere, keep it in my safe in my desk for 5 years. Yeah. That's what happens at over there, Silverton. Do you see why we need Madlanga Commission? Do you see why we need a whole Madlanga Commission just for the SENZO MEYIWA trial? Well, just for Gininda, to be honest. But Gininda is equal to No, Gininda is equal to Mangena. What's that other Mkulugudu? There's Mangena, and then there's Mabena. Okay, somebody is going to have to raise him from the dead because he too has a lot of questions to answer. And then there's Mohane, and then there's Mohola. Gu Ningi. We need a whole commission, okay? And then we need another commission where the same commission, then Baloy and the good doctor, they have to explain to us, okay, how they sat down and said, yeah. This evidence is make sure. Let's go ahead with the warrants of arrest. Let's get them arrested. And this is the case that we're going to bring to the Boksburg Magistrate Court. And then when Danzi raises his hand because he wants to say, guys, oh my goodness, what in the Mgulugudu is happening here? And then Mchiako comes through to say, oh no, it's just my client. He's just raising matters that are not relevant right now, my lord. And then accused number 5 wants to say, but Gininda tried to arrest the Buthelezi brothers. And then it bounced on him when he realized, or rather, when Qiniselani Buthelezi let them charge him, read them their rights, and then Qiniselani said, wait, I've got something to tell you. You guys, my brother and I were already incarcerated on that date. Go check your records. They went to go check the records and then they came back. And when they came back, Gininda came bearing 100 rands as a token of apology. And Guniselani said, get the hell out of here. What am I going to do with the 100 rands? How dare you? You tried to throw me away for life. And all you can bring me is 100 rands? Oh, it's the audacity for me. But of course, everything is alleged, and we know, my lord, just can't take all these aspersions that are being thrown about Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda, who's on page 283 of Paul Sullivan's book, and also known as the Ice Boy at the Maldanga Commission, that he's going to have the right of reply. Okay, my lord insists upon it. But then, if he has the right of reply, then everybody else must also come back and have the right of reply. Then it's going to be a vicious circle of rights of reply. But we already know my lord's not going to grant anyone from the defense a right of reply. Hell no. All he wants is for Gininda to come and shine up his record and shields and medals again and just tell us, insofar as, my lord, okay, let me give Gininda some grace. Okay, let me let him rest a little bit. Let's just put him on ice for now. Okay, so that's the situation I was telling you about when it comes to IBIS. Okay, that's what IBIS is. If you guys don't know what IBIS is a system that records all firearms that are involved in any kind of crime. It also checks like which firearms are licensed. I'm talking about licensed firearms, okay? Because some of them are street unlicensed. So, but then when they perform Gulugudu activities, those shell casings, projectiles, what else? The bullets and sometimes the firearm because they take off the serial numbers. All those are entered into IBIS so that in the event in future, if more evidence comes into the system, if the system is working well, with proper police officers doing their job correctly, okay, not police officers like, Sergeant Fanning Kose, formerly known as Witness F, Him. No, not him keeping dockets at home. If he had entered some of those evidence into the system, it would have pinged on some of the bullet, or should I say ballistics evidence. So that's the long winded explanation of what IBIS is. So Mnube wants to know why. So Mnube was arrested in 2015 for the taxi Dondoni case. They put they put the firearm into ballistics, which they didn't, by the way. They did not. But we're saying in a proper working world, they would have put his firearm ballistics records into IBIS. And then IBIS would have been like, oh my goodness, finally, beep, 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 beep. It would have pinged because we've been searching for the firearm and the ballistics and done with regards to Senzo Meyiwa's passing, because we never got the firearm. We never arrested anyone then. And then this case would have been solved earlier. I hope that makes sense globally what IBIS is all about. But basically, because it's Mkulugutu tendencies, that never happened. Okay, Mangena just happened to just be like, no, no, not Mangena. No, well, we're going back. Sorry, Brigadier Geninda. It is the evidence. Geninda said, "Hey, Mangena, how you doing? Come meet me at Cleveland Police Station, shall you?" Remember, Ngube said him and Gininda have a relationship. It is no coincidence that Gininda happened to just fall upon Ngube and this firearm at the Cleveland police station and then call Mangena to say, hey, come through. And then Mangena comes through and he's like, it's such a perfect thing. It's an open bag, just the way I like it as a Mgulugudu ballistic expert who was trained in America. Yeah. Anyway, let me read the next comment. Hello, hello, hello. I'm Charlie. I'm laughing because Mr. Cleveland policeman is Charlie. Um, why is my mouse freezing? Wait, why did I take off my glasses? Now I can't see. Hold the line, hold the line, hold the line. Miss Media TV, please. Oh, okay. I thought you were calling me Miss Media TV. I was like, wait, what? Miss Media TV, please shout out to her. She's good. You have yourself a twin. Really? Okay. Miss Media. Wait, wait. We don't want to shout out Mgulugudus. So let me just do a quick audit since this is happening live. But if I think who Miss Media is, hold on. Let me type it. Miss Media TV. Miss Media TV. Okay, yes. I was going to say the lady with the red. Okay, yes. So I know her. I watch her clips from Not I know her. That no. I've seen her on TikTok. I personally don't know her. Am I going to shout her out? Of course. Okay, so let me channel my shout out energy. Okay, I just need to clear my throat. I'm just gonna mute a second. So, Miss Media. Okay, that's what she goes by. So Miss Media TV. I don't know her name. I'm sorry. But you guys know we're in the month of April, and I asked you guys to tell me female podcasters, female led shows, and I want to shout them out. The thing is, you guys are asking me to shout out large channels. I was looking more like, and I wasn't specific, so I can only blame myself. I was looking to shout out smaller channels. That doesn't mean I'm not going to shout her out. So, guys, there's also Miss Media TV. She covers more the Madlangarism side. Yes. I watch her clips on TikTok. Actually, I watch her live. I think it's her live that I once went in where there was a lot of Nigerians in there. Woo! And she's giving them a platform to just speak out their hearts. So yeah, let's go ahead and check out Miss Media TV over there on these YouTube streets. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout out to her. Another independent podcaster inside these media houses. I love it so much. Congratulations to her. She has over close to, oh guys, get her to 40,000 subscribers and let her know Mzansi Unfiltered sent you over to her YouTube space. She's pretty good. She's pretty good. There's also, wait, there's someone also gave me a list. Let me see if I have it really quick. Da 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 da. Hold the line. Hold the line. Talk amongst yourselves for a second because I want to do these shout outs and get it checked off as done. Oh, goodness me. I didn't. Okay, yes, I do have it. Yes. Okay, so again, I didn't give rules of engagement of who to shout out. So it's my fault. So I take full responsibility of that. I didn't give clear instructions. So I'm just going to read the comment as it is. Okay. So again, you guys are shouting out large creators, and that's okay. That's okay. The reason why I wanted to support channels, ironically, YouTube changed the YouTube partner program, the monetization program qualifications from 4,000 watch hours to 8,000 watch hours. Ironically, I didn't know this in advance, even though I was at YouTube offices last week. And, this news came as a shock, as a surprise. But then once you sit down and think about it, you're like, no, but it's already possible to get over 8,000 watch hours. Well, speaking for myself. So I found it ironic or quite timely that I wanted to shout out female led shows or podcasts or YouTube channels, but I never specified that they had to be, up and coming. It doesn't matter if it's a large creator or not. I'm still going to shout them out. But I would just want to encourage you, if you're watching and you are thinking of starting a YouTube channel, do it now. Do it now before February 1st, because February 1st is going to be harder and harder and harder to get in quotations. But I'll do a separate video to talk about that to explain why it's not really hard. It looks hard, but it's not really hard. So I want to also go ahead and shout out. So this comment is from Belinda. Thank you, Belinda, for sharing your list of female podcasters. And she says, and my Lord is running away on adjournment. Okay, that's the adjournment video. And she says, female podcasters, Emily Mzansi family. Shout out to Emily. We're shouting her out because, yes, she's a female podcaster as well. I have no I stopped watching their channel. I'm not saying you stop watching. I stopped watching. I explained it the other live stream why, so I'm not going to talk about that now. And then secondly, I want to shout out Rules and Rulers by D. Okay, I love her channel. Okay, because I am a creator, I can't watch every video, but when I do catch her, I tend to watch her on weekends. She's absolutely hilarious. I love her channel as well. So shout out to her, Rules and Rulers by D-I. And I think her name is Dineo. I could be wrong. Please go visit. She's actually an advocate. I think initially when I started following her, she was a tiny little channel. And I loved that we were hearing from an advocate. And I thought it was quite interesting that she also had time to record videos. If you guys have been following me for a long time, you will remember that I said I wanted to help have more advocates come onto the platform because we want to hear from them. Because I think there is Advocate Tuluhoyane. Yeah. And I'm definitely butchering his name. Is that the channel name? I think that's the channel name as well. Wait. No, that's not the channel name. What's the channel name? Drop it in the comment section down below. So he is an advocate, right? A learned colleague. And I would love to see more and more advocates come on the platform. Just in case you're like, why on earth is she like shouting out other channels? She's gonna lose viewership, she's gonna lose subscribe. No. That's not how YouTube works. I'm happy if someone goes to watch someone else's channel and gets a different perspective. Okay, I'm not the blueprint. I'm just happy because YouTube changed my life. YouTube changed my life financially. It added a revenue stream that I was like, wait, okay, do you guys know how I started my channel? I've probably told you the story all over the place, but I used to type comments. Let's say I'll be watching Miss Media TV. Shout out to her. Let's say I'll be watching her and then I'll add a comment. My comments used to get a lot of likes, a lot of reactions, a lot of what's it called? Replies. And this happens as well on Facebook. I tend to comment also on Facebook as well. So I will say something like, oh my goodness, it's Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda on page 283 of Pulsar. I've been quite humorous for a while, but in written. And I started to see a lot of people would react to my comments, right? So then I was like, let me create my own channel. Let me say these things out loud. Let's see how this goes. That's the background of how the channel was inspired. Yeah. And then, so Rules and Rulers by D definitely shouting her out. Go check her out. She's absolutely fun. Let her know Mzansi Unfiltered sent you her way. And then we also have Patricia Morgan Mashale, Miss Fear Focal, who needs no introduction on this channel. Shout out to her. And then we also have True Crime with Julia. I do catch her videos. I don't watch her religiously. I watch specific topics that she covers, and I love how she breaks everything down. So please, also as well, visit True Crime with Julia. Again, you guys made me shout out large channels. It's like, okay. We want to help channels that are trying to get to the 1,000 subscribers, also the 4,000 watch hours, because right now it's still at 4,000. So I want to help a channel move to the next step in terms of their monetization. And then, of course, none other than Unoni, who needs no introduction because some of you call me Noni in here. And ever since, by the way, thank you so much for respecting my wishes. Ever since I told you guys to stop it, I'm not Nani. You guys I don't see those comments anymore. So I don't even have to block Nani from the channel. Yes. You already know this is Mzansi Unfiltered Witness Use Home. Okay. And then and you. Oh, and me. They also listed me. Thank you so. Let me shout out myself. Huh? Guys, it is not me. It is the comment. I'm shouting myself out. Shout out to everybody who supports the channel. Thank you so much. Guys, without you, I would not have had an invite to YouTube head office. I wouldn't. Because why would they need to talk to me? I would not have had that privilege, which I see as a privilege that you guys have bestowed upon me. YouTube sees you, YouTube hears you, and they're like, you know what? Come through, Mzansi Unfiltered. Let's talk. Okay. Let's talk. Of course, let me tell you, getting into a YouTube building, there is no, hi, I'm witness you over there. No, you show up with your, the security is so tight. It is extremely tight. But once you're in, it is an amazing, amazing experience. I had a great time. Yeah, you're going to see a few changes on the channel. So please stay tuned. Please support the channel. I absolutely love it. And don't embarrass me because, my bosses are watching. My bosses are watching and they're seeing how we're doing. So I love you guys so much. I really do. When I say it, please know, I really, really, really mean it. I love you guys so much. Okay, so that's the list. That's the list. Okay, I got the list out. Let me go back to the list that I want us to go over today. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Where did my list go? Oh, I lost my placement. Hold the line, talk amongst yourselves. I'm just finding my list. Oh, I found it. I found it. Panic over. Okay, so let's see the next comment over here. My question, hi Senzo. My question is, why is Rata taking this so easy and not to be hard and harsh on the state? It's like a parent and their favorite child literally colors the walls black and they say, "Oh my God, that's just so beautiful. You're so creative. I love it for us. Oh my God, my child is so talented." But had it been the child that the stepchild, yeah, let's say it's the stepchild that had done the same thing. Let me tell you something, that stepchild is not going to drink any auras for the rest of the year. They're going to pay the price. That's literally what's happening in that court. Hey Prince, hey Prince. Next comment. Also, I'm also missing the evidence. Oh, also missing in evidence are the AVLs of the vehicle. That's right. Definitely missing. And under the guise of, yeah, and then the vehicle was written off, and then there's no AVL records. There's no AVL installed on those vehicles. They think that we are ignorant. That's what they think. Yeah, they think we're not paying attention. They think we don't have memory. But no, in this life, we're going to put it all together. We're going to put all their secret sources together and just expose the state. Then Prince says the defense should also ask for the phones of Undanzi and Sivia. Danzi wants his phone. Danzi has already put it on the record. Georgie, it's been weeks now. Danzi said he wants his phone. You haven't come back to tell us where the phone is. Where is Danzi's phone? He says he wants it. Okay, Thinkers Avenue, hi Thinkers, says Judge Rata is prepared to convict these guys. He is not one. He's prepared to convict those guys. He in not once occasion have intimated that. Let me read this again. So the judge is prepared to convict those guys. He is not one occasion have in you know what? Type it again. Type it again. I don't know what you're saying. I don't want to misquote you. So yeah, because the English is taking. It's not make sure. I'm not understanding where we're going. Exactly calling for the decisions or rulings to be referred to the Supreme Court of Appeals in Tantanis. Witness you, Dumilang, 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 Dumilang. How are you? Where are you? I'm right here, literally. All the exhibits must come immediately. Ah, Giving Hope is here. Hi, Giving Hope. Let me tell you how much I remember what you guys say. Giving Hope is one of the people that said, I'm not watching this trial anymore. I can't do it. It's too much of an emotional roller coaster. And you see, I have a very good memory. Also, giving you graduated this year. So, congratulations to you. We celebrate you. Um, Delani, like he says, never disappeared. It was not there at all. That's right. Um, Hello, gorgeous people. Lindy Way. Good. Hello, hello, hello. You are gorgeous too. Cry Freedom says, inside Pagati and good evening to all Vandava like me. That's right. We are inside Pagati within. Um, yes, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I little, I was a little late, but that's okay. Better late than there we go. Do you see? Do you see? Better late than never. Better late than never. Okay, fine. The other thing that I had to do is I was uploading a video, and then because in that video I say things like today or in the live stream today, I was like, if I don't upload this video before I go live, it's going to be garbage and I have to throw it out. And I can't do that. Take recording a video is a lot of time. Okay. I put in a lot of time, a lot of work, public jury when following the Meyiwa case, and social media commentary. Commissioners. Yes, I love that. I think I'm gonna write it down. We're writing it down. We are social media commissioners. Oh, you guys are hilarious. You also help me write my scripts. Um Half the time, the cartel bosses are killing people to keep them from taking the stand, and they get away with whatever crime said witness would have testified on. How come in my Lord's court they are dead people? I don't know. We'll have to find out. We'll collect all the death certificates and see if there's a pattern. Inside Phakathi within. The Majanga Commission is waiting for Keninda to come and explain why he's icing for IDAC. Judge and prosecutors are on panic mode. That's why Rata needs a necessary break. Oh, that Ramasipili, as stubborn as he is like, no, I still have 4 minutes. I don't care. I said we're adjourning now, as the court pleases. Oh, I think sometimes they say as the court pleases under their breath, but they're not really, really in agreement. But they gotta do what they gotta do. Usbu says, I'm also inside Parati with you, Miss I Digress. Witness you and family from Benoni. Is there a cell phone tower there? Do we have any Benonis inside Pinky Van Thillingham's towers? No. No, I don't remember one. Good evening, witness you. Hello, hello, hello. Greetings, greetings. I love you all. Okay, to my knowledge, all the exhibits were meant to be kept in one place, individually sealed, till the finalized. Of course, we don't need to be qualified from the FBI to know that at all. Like, wow. The incompetence is on steroids. And where the hell is Chico Twala to come and tell us about the incompetence with regards to this? Seems to be awfully quiet for a man who called Advocate Tulani Joshua Ngomezulu incompetent. He's too quiet. We need him to come back with that same energy and tell us how the state is incompetent in the bare minimum, cold drink unit, of just securing the evidence and keeping it. But what do you expect if they can take an open sealed bag and then continue to examine the firearm? Like, what do you expect? They can only be Mkulugutu after that. Anyway, let me finish reading this comment. To my knowledge, all the exhibits were meant to be kept in one place, individually sealed to the finalization of the case. Yes, but we have seen bullets brought to court in a handkerchief, a gun with Geninda. The gun was with Mangena in his safe, and then it was then handed over to Geninda, and then they tried to play a smart one on Dave, but Dave, umlungu wetu, when my lord said, okay, fine, he must do the ballistics and dun for team defense, mainly accused number 3, I choose number 3, um he so it was a Friday. I remember it was a Friday. I have a good memory. I'm quite proud of myself sometimes. I remember that it was a Friday, and then they wanted to give him the firearm, right? Inside Parati within the court. And Dave is like, I don't know what kind of gulliges you guys run over here, but I am not taking a firearm from you inside this courtroom so that when I come back after doing all the hard work, testing everything, then you just run around and say that I contaminated the evidence. No, no, no. You are going to bring it to my lab. Mhm. Bring it to my lab on Monday, and then I will accept it from you so that it has come through to me. You're not going to say, after I left the court and then I went to visit so and so with the firearm and no, 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 no. We're not doing that. Shout out to Dave of Longaway too. And then my lord is like, okay, fine. Why don't you just use the state's labs? And Dave is like, are you nuts? Like, oh, what kind of suggestion is that? I have my own state of the art equipment. No, I'm doing this at my own lab. I'm not doing this inside Pagati within a state facility. We don't know if Mangena is going to wind the dial or make the dial unwind on those microscope. We don't know. And he's like, better the devil I know, bring it to my lab. So then they had to escort it with, they had to escort that firearm to Dave's labs. Yeah, they had to do it because he was like, I don't play stupid games. Okay, we're not doing that. So that little scene that I just played to you, that's evidence of just how much chain of command is not respected. So are we surprised that evidence is going missing in quotations? Okay, we're saying going missing in quotations because I could write a whole thesis on missing evidence, alleged missing evidence. See, it's very difficult for me to be impartial because it's the cold drink unit. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. Where is the head, Georgie? Georgie! Where is the head? How many times must we call your name? We want it, not my lord. Yes, we members of the public jury, we want that hat, okay? We want the hat. Ngube is the best witness, just like Ndanzi. Do you know what? I have to say, I didn't expect much from Ngube. I don't know why. I just thought he was going to be, I don't want to say violent, but I thought he was going to be very much, I just don't know what did I think? I had no expectations. The one whose expectations I really have is accused number 5. Okay, I cannot wait for accused number 5 because he's just going to be firing shots from the second he enters that. That's the thing. I had expectations for accused number 5. As for accused number 4, what on earth is he going to come to tell us? Like, I think he is the most irrelevant charged person in that case. No pun intended. But for accused number 3, I didn't expect it, but and at the end of the day, and also how he started, okay, he started off just nonchalant. He felt like he was dismissive, not really there, and then he came alive. I was like, okay, there he is. And then he came alive with one goal and one goal only: to drag Geninda for filth. Notice I didn't say Brigadier Geninda. Ngube refuses to call him by title, no matter what. But yeah, so yeah, I would say say in terms of the case and how, and he's a very, very simple guy. Such a simple man. He puts things so simply, says it like it is, and you immediately understand. And I think he blew the case open. Danzi did a fantastic job as well, but now we're seeing the technicalities and he's exposing them. So shout out to accused number 3. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, speaking of accused number 3, so I was watching Netflix last night, binge watching, and what was I watching? What was the episode I was watching? Um, 7 series. Did I say 7 series? 7 episodes. I was watching Ted. Oh my goodness, I'm on the last episode. Oh, so fun. Let me know if you guys want me to do a review on it. So I was watching Ted. Of course, it's a fictional show, but it's got my favorites. Okay, like Lindiwe from Ismaya, Koza from The Queen. It's got my favorites. So it was just a joyous one to watch. But if you watch it, if you take time to watch it, you can also see that everything is literally how we understand the prison system. We've got Ulindiwe, who's doing a phenomenal role playing Agnes Koza. She just had to be a Koza as well. Do you know a Koza from correctional services in real life? No, you don't? Hosi Mampuru? And he came to court with a delegation when it comes to accused number 5. She's literally reenacting that role, or that character, or that persona of a correctional services officer who does anything and everything they want. In fact, when I was watching one of the scenes, they have a. Do I want to do a spoiler alert? Let me see how I can. Okay, they have a facility where they torture an inmate anyhow and any way they want, and they keep them there forever and ever until they feel they got the information that they need. Um, so one of the main characters, he's put there. And then it made me think of accused number 5. Do you guys remember when accused number 5 finally got Judge Rutter to make a ruling that he could move and now be with accused number 4 at the other prison? And it was finally Judge Rutter made a ruling, and then he said, please judge, can I just go after court? Can I listen, I don't need to get any of my property at Khosimampuru. Don't take me back to Khosimampuru, because they're gonna burn me, they're gonna electrocute me tonight, okay, they're gonna sleep on me today. And I was just like, am I the only one who heard that? Am I literally the only one who heard that? Because it seems like nobody seemed to react to that little statement. The judge didn't seem to be like, what do you mean? And then he made the ruling that, yeah, he can go that night. Guess where accused number 5 is to this very day? Drinking cold tea. Well, guess where he is? Still at Khosimampuri and never left a single day. They're still holding on to him. So make sure, go if you have time, go to Netflix and watch Umteto. Okay, yeah, fascinating, fictional. It's got 7 episodes. Thank goodness it's not the 22 episodes like The Polygamist. So Mnuve is the best witness, just like the judge. Just like Danzi. What am I reading? Let me try get this. Owetu is here. Hi, Owetu. My lady, confirming my appearance for my appearance. For I'm still here, gang. Oh, the I'm still here, gang. Hello, hello, hello. Shout out all the way from TQ. Hi, hi, hi. Olindiwe, not Rata saying let's a gentle Tuesday. This old man will faint in that big chair with that that jazzy of his. Cry Freedom says, when the exhibits start getting lost in the hands of the state, know that it's a way of running away, and Rata may have to make a favorable verdict on the 5 accused. Oh. Ah. So you are saying, from where you are sitting, the evidence is starting to disappear because the state, aka Georgie Baloy, have seen the light? And they can't just walk away, so they're assisting Judge Rudd to alter his verdict. Verify that in the comment section down below. Uswu says, I have a question for Zungu and Isa. Zungu, come to the front of the room. This one's for you. Can we get someone who can trace? Can we get someone who can trace Constable Sizwe Zungu? Section 205 for the day. He went to fetch the pocketbook at Osutu Kwanongoma. Oh, I see what you're doing there. So actually, it would still be possible because if you remember, Pinky Van Dillingham said that they can only keep the records for 5 years. So we're still within the right timeline. I think that's a good ask. I think that's a favorable ask. We members of the public jury, we want to know if he really went to get the pocketbook. Hmm? We all know he didn't, but let's let the Section 205 prove us wrong. And then, exactly where did he go to get this pocketbook? Because from where I am sitting, he doesn't sound like he's very much welcome in Kwanangama. Where did he go in Kwanangama? He definitely didn't go to Absalom Zungu's home. Where did he go? Think about it. Where did he go? And do you guys remember that Absalom Zungu came to tell the court that he hasn't come back to Guanongo? Do you guys remember that, or am I imagining things? Drop a 4 in the comment section down below if I'm remembering accurately. But feel free to correct me as well. Yeah. Next comment is it can't be. I like the spelling. Can't be. We need the hat. Baloi. TLC Commission is waiting for Baloi. That's right. That is right. We're waiting patiently. We're very patient people. Where can I watch it? The TRC Commission? I don't know. Moses? Where can we watch it? Okay. And Numalo said, Andizi. Oh, I love Numalo. I love how he's grown, for lack of a better word, in that case. He started out as a very shy Zithilele Numalo to now, my lord, don't jump to conclusions. Okay, can we wait until accused number 4 and 5 are here so they tell us about the tea themselves? We can't just be out here accepting everything Baloy puts on the record as fact. Ooh, I loved that moment. I was like, okay, Zithilele, come through. That is brilliant. The judgment has already been written. All the accused will be found guilty. I don't know why these criminals, the NPA, are called the state. Good evening, Shari. Good evening. I can't wait for you to analyze. Guess what? I already watched it and I've already analyzed it. I think I've already uploaded a video. You can watch it before you go to bed tonight. And then I have another one that's going to be powerful. It's going to be powerful. I wasn't able to finish it before this live stream. So it's going to be your morning edition. I have a lot to say in that one. I'll give you a hint. It's about the firearm and the lady and the things she said. And I just think it's quite sad, the things she said. So I have a lot to say on that. So make sure you stay tuned to that video. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm going to say. I like her channel as well. Rules and Rulers by D. Yeah, she's awesome. I think she's awesome. The Daily Fix. I can't believe I couldn't remember the channel name. The Daily Fix. Shout out to the Daily Fix. I haven't watched the Daily Fix in a while. In fact, it hasn't popped up on my screen as a or are they still uploading? I think that's the bigger question I should ask. Let me see. Because I can't remember the last time I saw a Daily Fix video. Oh, yeah. They uploaded a video yesterday. Okay. I'm going to watch the video. Thanks for the channel name. The Daily Fix. Thank you. Sometimes I forget things. Good evening to you all witnesses. That's right. I'm now tempted to use the late Mr. Ngomezulu's words. Not only are they cooking, they're dismally messing the case and denying the Meyiwa family with their greed. I agree. Ultimately, like in the bigger scheme of things, as much as I try to make everything very, very lighthearted for entertainment purposes only, the reality is, excuse me, this is a terrible injustice for the Meyiwa family. Atrocious. Did imagine the Meyiwa family from 2014 are still waiting to sit in the dock and hear the verdict for their son, while DJ Juarez, whose life ended in December, I think December 6th, if I remember the dates correctly, they already have a conviction, a confession. As much as I have a lot to say about that, but in months, it's already taken care of. Can you imagine? That's such a shame. I miss the things that got us hooked to you. For me, it was because Nisi was on fire in those days. Oh, we've got SA Infotainment in the building. Boo, 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 boo. Hi, self appointed experts. Hi, how are you? How are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you back on what's it called? Giant Logo Station. Good to see you back there, representing the minority. I say minority even though we're a majority, but I say minority because you're always just a team of one. It's one against 4 or 5 or however many there are sometimes. So yeah, kudos to you. Shout out, shout out. Keep representing. We need our words out there as well in these spaces. I'm waiting for Scoochana to ask you what? Ask me? Wait, let me read this. I'm waiting for Scoochana to ask. Do you know? Oh, okay, 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 okay. Not me. Okay, I was just like, okay, whoa. Kwahlokolo. Do you know Kwahlokolo? Nguve's memory is out of this world. It is phenomenal, and I believe that's why they stuck him inside Pagati within the giant. What's that thing called? I think that's why they stuck him inside solitary confinement for 4 years. They've just needed him to muddle up his brain so he doesn't come to tell the people. Yeah, Kininda put me here. I can't prove it, but from everything that he said this week, that's the conclusion I drew. That's why I was like, oh, we have to go back and watch. We have to go back and watch his solitary confinement videos. I'm gonna put that down again. I'm going to we're gonna watch a video. Hold on, I'm trying to find a video I want us to watch. Do, 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 do. Okay, so his memory is out of this world, 100%. Lambert Designs is here. I just received a summons to report for duty. Don't know if I will be picked. It will be interesting if I do. Wait, you mean a real jury? You have to come back and let us know. Lambert Design. Which case? Which case? Oh, I'm so. This is your time to shine. Start a YouTube channel. We'll definitely come to follow. Of course, you won't be able to share the merits of the case, but just, post videos like getting ready to go for court jury. The real lives of a jury and how they're disrupting my life, having to go and be a member of the jury. Oh, this is so exciting. Can you see? I've lit up. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. Come back, Lambo Designs. Tell us a little bit more. This is so exciting. You can tell I love anything to do with court, yeah. The deceased police officer, Mr. Ngashe, had a statement that the defense were not allowed to use jiggy jiggy. The Makaleni statement was allowed to be read by the judge. That's right. Because they think we don't remember. The Rob versus Hepworth does not apply in this court of Judge Rata. Have you noticed he stopped talking about it? We haven't heard that reference in a while. Good evening, all. Hello, Lalita. I confirm my presence from the tiny little province of KZN. Poo, 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 poo. Praji should bring that head tomorrow as Lali. Okay? Stop telling us stories, Praji. Just bring the head. Just bring. See, this is what happens when you conduct all your investigations from a parking lot. Do you see? Do you see the impact? If you'd done it inside party within a police station, we wouldn't be in this mess. But I digress. Accused number 4 was with Mncube all day. We need him to testify to that. And he will. He surely will. No, I meant in terms of the Senzo Meyiwa trial. The actual unaliving, standing and being the watchman. He's got such a small role. That's what I meant. But yes, he was there the whole day. Accused number 4, I read that comment. Mxolisi is here. Hi, Mxolisi. Thank you so much for being a channel member. Love you so much. Thank you for the financial support. It's very shocking and scary to see the state in this defensive mode. But I laughed when Baloy asked Advocate Ngumalo, my lord. This is how Advocate George Baloy goes, my lord, speaks through his teeth. My lord, I don't know why Advocate Ngumalo's put these issues on the record. Balay, sit down and behave yourself. What in them Gulugutu are you saying? I'm on episode 4, and if I didn't have to wait for my husband, I would be. That's so cute, though. A couple that watches together stays together. Come on, stick with the program. Hubby, why can't you just sit still and binge watch together? Yes, I loved it. I thought I watched it with Zulu subtitles. Yeah, I think that's the combination I picked. I loved it so much. Um, can I say I loved it so much? I loved it. But you know what's funny is I fell asleep. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get to the end. I'm literally left with 7 minutes of episode 7. I was like, nope, I'm now watching from a place of half asleep and no, 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 no. I need to watch this properly. So I have 7 minutes left to watch. But it's a great show. I think it's a great show. I think I'm biased because I love Lindiwe and I just love her. I love her so much. Okay. I love her so much. And I love how she's always a villain. And she plays such a magnificent villain. Anyway, I'm rambling. So yeah, Happy, please, Lambo Designs needs to finish the rest of the episodes. If you had episode 4, oh, it's about to get lit. It's about to get lit. See, at least I controlled myself early and I didn't do spoilers. The Working Gang. I love the Working Gang. They're my faves. Guilty confession. Well, I have been watching all the Formula One races I've missed while I was in hospital. Ooh, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, and congratulations on your progress. Hi, Myra. How are you doing? It has been a very, very, very long time. Look, these guys just need certificates. They now know I agree. They now know everything about the law and this case, and they're such good listeners. Inside the show that I told you about, okay, Teto, um, one of the guys, he's incarcerated, and I can't remember who he's talking to, and then the person says, "Oh, look at you sounding like a legal expert." And it's like, all we have inside here is time. Okay. We've got time. There's one thing they have in there is time. And so, yeah, they definitely, you can also tell. Oh, I forgot to complete my chain of thought from earlier, which was inside this show, which I thought was quite interesting, which means it's a recently recorded one. They say the prisoners are talking about, yeah, even the Malanga Commission. Malanga Commission has officially made it to Netflix, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. They have left the YouTube streets, mainstream media. They are now inside Parati within the Malanga Commission. Anyway, I don't want to do any more spoilers in case you haven't caught it. And they're definitely good listeners, definitely. They just need certificates. And I also think, members of the public jury as well. We're pretty in there now. We also need some honorary certification for watching this trial for all these years. Noma Pakati. Hi, Noma. Working gang. Oh, she wrote a whole paragraph, guys. You have to know this is an achievement. Okay. Noma does not speak in words, she only speaks in emojis. Oh, today I feel so blessed and spoiled. The hat belongs to one of the people who were in the house, so the owner took it back. The owner took it back. I think it belongs to that tall guy. Which one? Tall guy, tall guy, tall guy. Don't remember his name. Not Dumelo. Dumelo? Dumelo's not tall. Is Dumelo tall? Or are you talking about Longway? Let me know which of those two Mkulugutus it is. Okay, fine, not Mkulugutus, home residents. Okay, so next comment says, ah la la la. Shout out to one of our brand new channel members, the voice behind the mic. Woo, 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 woo. Come through. Let's have a chat. Come through. Let me put the link. Let me find the link first. Da 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 da. Invite a guest. Copy the link. Paste it here. We're going to end the live stream with watching the solitary confinement video. Okay, so stay tuned. Let me pin this comment. Pin. Perfect. Okay, there. You guys can come through and join and we chat. Where is Dumelo's hat? I read that one. Good evening, Mzansi Unfiltered family. I'm here on behalf of the Abo Mama Bumtanda Zao. Let me write that down. There. Barney definitely doesn't need no introduction. I always call her part of our intercessors gang. Thank you so much, Mama Umtandazo, because this case needs Umtandazo plus the Malanga Commission plus members of the public jury to hold everybody accountable. Because think about it, if there were no members of the public jury, guess how wild Gininda would be right now. We've had to clip his wings, had to show him that some of them Gulugutuness is not making sure, fix this angle over here. It sounds really crazy. Have you guys noticed? Imagine if there was no Malanga Commission and then there was no members of the public jury, and then there was no mainstream media streaming this. This this would have been a done deal long back. And people be like, they took the life of Senzo Meyiwa. Did you guys on my Facebook? I posted a video. Someone did a song for Kelly Kumalo. Go watch it. Okay, it's absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Who do you think is going to take the cross examination of Mncube for the state between the good doctor and Braji? Ooh, I want it to be Braji because I want Mncube to crucify him as much as he has crucified Geninda. If it's going to be the good doctor, it's just going to drag on. We need progress. I feel like the good doctor is just going to be there, like scoring his own goals. It's going to be annoying. He's not going to be clear some things. Baloy is going to have to keep interjecting and assisting him. So just rip the band aid off. Baloy, take the stand, take the mic, okay? It's an order from the members of the public jury. So please make sure you just do the right thing, okay? Don't waste our time, okay? We already spent so much time on this case. We can skip the good doctor this round. You see, the good doctor is good at things like he said, I did the no, not ballistics, the cell phone records. He's good at things like that. Reading statements, like a doctor that he is. That's good. Personally, I want Baloy. Just for good measure. But Baloy has been bruised. When you get 3 third-degree burns, it takes a while for the skin to come back and for you to heal and make sure you're not getting an infection. He was burned by Ntanzi. Okay? Ntanzi dragged him from pillar to post. He would try to turn left. Ntanzi would be like, come back here. I'm not done with you. So that's why I want Georgie. Okay? I want Georgie. My vote is in Georgie is the man for the job. Drop a 5. Let's build his ego, shall we? Let's build his ego. If you agree with me, drop a 5 in the comment section that Georgie must be the one. Okay, we want Gweliga Georgie inside Pagati within cross-examining Ngube because we want that fire. We want that entertainment. And also, most importantly, I just want to hear what Ngube is going to say to him. And I imagine Ngube has been waiting for this moment. Okay. Yeah. So, do I know which of the two it's going to be? No. But I definitely want it to be Georgie. My money is on Georgie. If I had to bet, I would say Georgie. Ooh, I feel so accomplished. Did I reach the end of my comments? I did. You make me laugh. Won't know the case until I'm picked. Could be. So I was right. You're a real jury person. Okay, if you want an excuse to get out of doing jury duty, if it has an impact on your life, personally, I wouldn't get out of jury duty. Actually, get in and become Madam Foreman and then write a book after. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Don't get out of being part of the jury. Oh, they don't tell you the case. Oh, this is so exciting. I wish I knew which state you were in, and then I'll try to figure out which cases it possibly could be. But maybe it's just a drunken driving accident case. Um, well, good luck with that. Keep us posted, okay? If you haven't noticed, I'm now thoroughly fully invested in your life because I know you clean while you watch me, and then you watch with your hubby, Netflix, and then he's delaying you. Okay, he's an enemy of progress right now. Imagine binge watching and then having to pause because your husband is not there. Husband, come back home. I'm such a problem. Let me just finish these comments and then we'll greet our guests because I know we're going to segue. Actually, that's so funny. The list that I wanted to go through was submitted by our guest. And I was like, you know what? You put this together so well for me. I don't have to do much of the research. This is what we're going to base our live stream on. So wait, I didn't finish reading this comment. You make me laugh. Won't know the case until I'm picked. Could be people fighting over chickens or a murder case. That's so funny because I didn't see the rest of the comment and I was like, it could be a drunken driving boring story. But anyway, we shall see. I am fully invested. Okay, please come to Facebook and follow me there as well. Yeah. Okay, so Noma Pagate. We have seen pictures of Utumelo with a matching hat making the rounds. Oh, I haven't seen the picture. Somebody get me the picture. Send me the picture. Let the picture. Is this? No, I don't think I've seen a recent picture. Well, wait. I know I did a picture of Utumelo and Patricia Mashale when I did a video on them. Let me quickly see if he's wearing a hat. He is wearing a hat. Hold the line. Let me find that picture. How do I find it? I find it really fast, really quick. And then if I find it, guess who's got a video idea? I did a thumbnail with Patricia Mashale and Utumelo when she was serving him hot tea. You see, Patricia serves hot tea, not like Jose Mampuro that serves cold drink. Okay, let me be serious. That is Umtogo. That's Umtogo. Where's Tumelo? I didn't save the thumbnail. Oh, that's too bad. Because I want to see if I already have the picture. Hold the line. I know I have it as Patricia Mashale and Utumelo. Actually, let me look for the video. That'll be faster than trying to find the picture. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves in the comments. I'll be right back. Tumelo. Is Tumelo tall, guys? I did. No, it's not the same hat that I have in the picture. So I don't have the picture. Send me the picture, please. Please send me the picture. I don't have it. Oh, bad spelling. Okay. I think we've reached the rest of all the comments that I had. Shout out to our guest. Hi, Mas. How you doing? The voice behind the mic. Haven't spoke to you in a while. Come through. Say hi to
Hi,
everyone.
MU. How are you?
Introduce yourself. I'm very well now that you're here.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Great to have you back on the show.
Yeah, I'm back.
So let me read your comment out loud. 1 second, I'm gonna pull it up. Da, 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 da. I already had it as my live stream notes. Okay, so this is what I want to read. I want to read to you the 6 things, guys. So drop in the comment section if anything is missing. The first thing is we are missing the AVO records. The second thing is we're missing the OB book from the Valeria police station. We're still waiting for it. Colonel Rude, it was the one who just appeared with all the other books. Unprovoked, yeah, she needs to come back with it. The hat that has Utumelo Madlala's DNA is also now missing. Why do you say it has Dumelo Madlala's DNA?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Point number 4, section 187 that we were promised. And then my Lord said he's not doing it anymore. He said he was going to do it, and then he came back and he said he misguided himself. But then things got really deep and ugly for Kininda. So I think he's still going to do it. He's just waiting for everyone to put all their versions of Kininda, and then Kininda will come and talk to us for 6 months, responding to everybody. And then the 5th point, investigation over the the investigation over the assassination, the alleged assassination by Gwabini's friends, or should I say not accomplices, associates that would come escorting him to court every day, that just disappeared. Where's Adlinda Mate? We need an update, okay? You can't just leave us hanging. My lord's life was under threat. We need to know he's safe and sound. And then Nisi was dragged for filth and told that he's part of it. And then the 6th point is the revolver that was used is also missing the revolver. I like how you put your points. But yeah, let me let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, no, I think those points are. Let me start with point number 2. The head, the DNA. There was a video that this guy, Senzo's brother, said, we all know that the DNA came out and we know who those DNA are for. And when you check the head that was found in that house and the head that is roving all over the internet of a friend of the late Senzo, something is fishing there. So when you add or when you try to put together the dots, they will give you something. When it comes to the weapon that was used to analyze Senzo, I always said this case, they are protecting that weapon. And the weapon belongs to somebody that is inside court now. One of the officers. So they are trying so hard to protect that murder weapon. So they thought is not gonna end up in court. Unfortunately, it ended up in court. So now what they are doing is just to protect that revolver. The section that I spoke about that the presiding officer promised us, I don't think it will come. I don't think it will come because the defense, the presiding officer, remember, is acting as the lawyer for Brigadier Kininda. Because every time when you talk about him, he even testify and says, no, it's not like I'm testifying, but you can see that he's testifying and he's defending him. So wherever he is, he knows that they are going to chew him. They are going to tear him into pieces. So he's not coming because the presiding officer at that time, he said he's bringing in Ininda, he's bringing in all the police officers that testified, especially under the cold drink unit. He's not going to do that. Remember, the likes of Mokhololo, Mamfundis, Mokhola, were already cracking during their cross-examination. And they were saying everything that were supposed to answer. They were saying Kininda will come and answer. And when Kininda came along, when he came forth, he said, no, you cannot ask me about Mokhola. You were supposed to ask that question to Mokhola. So now they don't have any way to hide. So the presiding officer is not going to bring those people because he knows. That is why on Friday, was it Friday? Immediately after, when they discovered that that head is no longer there, he wanted to just adjourn. He was so quick to adjourn because how come the exhibit is missing? And I think the other exhibit that is missing, that it will be missing. Remember, they said they used crashes to beat the intruder. They should
Yes.
also ask that. They should also ask that thing. It's not
For the
there.
crutches.
Yes, the owner of that.
So I just want to jump in. I'm sorry I missed out like I think 2 to 3 minutes of what you said because I was kicked out of my own live stream. I don't know. I don't know who's controlling the shots, but luckily I was able to get back in. So I'm sorry about that if I was a bit silent. But yes, I'm here now. So we can continue.
Yes. So they should also ask for the crash that was used to to beat up the intruder. I think that crash is not there. So that case now, if you checked, I also said the state case or the case of SENZO MEYIWA, it's long gone. It's finished. We are currently
I
witnessing
agree.
5 accused against the presiding officer. What we are witnessing now is the 5 accused against the presiding officer with an alleged written judgment. So, and where he is now, where the case is now against the accused, the presiding officer can see that even the so-called judgment that we think that it was already written, it cannot stick, unfortunately. So what we need to do, there is this thing of I blew it. You know, this show, I blew it.
Yes.
Now we should have how to return the 35 meter. That's what we are left with now.
All
How
I
to
can
return the 35 meter, allegedly. I don't know who took the 35 meter, but there is a 35 meter that was talked about. So now we should say, how do we return that thing so that we can do things properly?
I think that we just need the assistance of the PKTT. They'll solve that in 3 days max. They don't do more than that. 3 days, we will have the answer of which is which. Revolver or a pistol.
The funny,
Yeah.
the funny thing, MU, ne?
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at DJ Wara's case.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
The guy confessed. He got 25 years. Do you
Yeah.
think if
Pakula. The Mozambican.
yes? Do you think the guy Umfana, if he could have just confessed by now, this is 14 years now, ne?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he would be at least half of the sentence.
Mm.
But like I said, it's not about
And the
him.
possibility of parole.
Yes, it's not about him. That was the problem. It was not all about him. It was about the weapon. If it was him using the legal weapon,
Mm.
probably you could have confessed. The unfortunate part is that weapon was not legal. And like I'm saying,
So you are saying the
allegedly,
weapon in the DJ Juarez case was not a legal weapon, which is not a surprise to them. But that weapon, if put inside the ballistics, is going to be problematic. That's what you're saying. Inside IBIS.
yes, what I'm saying, the weapon that was used at uh, 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 Mzamo was not legal.
Mm.
Even the weapon that was used for DJ Waras was not legal, but he confessed.
Allegedly.
So
We're
he's
just going to say
too,
he allegedly confessed.
allegedly, and he saved state a lot of money and resources. So that is why they now they said, okay, 25 years.
That's
But
why
now
I'm
this
saying
one,
allegedly, because he confessed just like that. It's not documented. What did he confess to? They just, all we know is that he's getting 25 years. He confessed to pulling the trigger, and that it was 25, and that it was 25,000 rands that he was offered or paid. That's all we know. What about the third guy?
yes, we don't know the mastermind. We don't know who gave that 25,000. But
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say is the person, the intruder, the true intruders that went into Zamo section, if they confessed, the true intruders, then they could have now at least half of their served half of their sentences.
Of course. I agree. I have to
So
agree with that.
now,
Even if it was not an intruder, even if it was one of the people in the house. First of all, the sentencing, if it was an accident, wouldn't have been 25 years. It would have been a lighter sentence. They would have shown remorse or at least faked it, and there would have been more sympathy for the fact that they confessed, um, instead of wasting our time for all these years.
eh, MU, why am I saying the intruder? There was Heli Kumalo,
Mhm.
Zandi Kumalo, the late Senzo Meyiwa, Tumelo Matlala, Ntogo, the mother, and the kids,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
Those were not intruders, but there was an intruder
Long
who
way.
came after.
A long way, allegedly. Okay,
I don't
I'm
know.
hearing what you're saying.
The
Yes, but
intruder.
if you
the-
listen to their story on their statements, there are those who were there, and then there's someone who
yes,
came to visit them. Yes.
yes.
So,
So
Chikotwala, I'm not making it up. It's on the statements. It's on the statements.
two
It's on the court
two
records.
two intruders went in that house. Two.
Okay. The gun
So the
carrying,
first
and
one
then
went in.
assistant.
This is my theory. The first one went in, and when there was a scuffle, the second
Mm.
one went in. And that second one that went in, he's the one who got shot. That is
Mm.
why when there was that hype of uh, stolen property, what, then they were arrested when they were two. The second one was limping. And
Yeah.
remember, Mgomezulu said there was the other one who got shot by the angle. And there was the one that was limping. I think he's the one who came, tried to help the brother during the scuffle. And unfortunately got shot. Allegedly.
Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly.
Go and check that video when they were going to, I think it was Rambek court. That one, the other one was is not moving, is limping. The junior.
Mm. I'm
So I
gonna check.
think there were two. One went in, one remained in the car. When there was a scuffle, one went in.
We're in a mess.
So I think Dr. Mudise, is it Dr. Mudise or Mpanzan,
Mm-hmm.
was treating that one.
It's Dr. Mbatsane who then referred to Modise. I think that's the
Yes,
order. I remember them. I think that's
yes,
the order.
yes. So they were supposed to, the intruder was supposed to just to confess. So I think their problem was the people who went there, especially the high-ranking officers.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They, they just messed things up because of the weapon.
What is the motivation? Hi Rob, come through to the platform. Let's chat as well. Want to hear your views if you're available. Um no, I'm listening because I'm thinking to myself, and thank you, I've seen the photo of the hat. Um I'm thinking to myself and asking myself, why are we in this mess and why is it such a long winding roller coaster? That's always been my why. But I think Mube just put the pieces of the puzzle together, which is him and Keninda have a long standing feud from 2015. But then, if we set that aside, then now we ask ourselves, but why? Why initially, from the crime scene, did everything go wrong? Why? That's where I have a big question. And then today at the Giant Logo station, Mr. SA Infotainment said something along the lines of Ntabiseng was in the police vehicle at the back riding because the police were going. Oh, everything is a mess. Everything is a mess. Um, but it will be interesting to see if there will ever be a fair verdict. That's my biggest question. So that's the evidence of the hat and the ballistics. We spoke about that and the firearm. I want us to go to another part of the missing Ntonton is in this trial. Why do you feel that we're not going to get Gininda? Because you listed Gininda as section 187 that he's missing. You think he's not coming back? You think my lord
I,
is abandoning
I
that
don't think so.
opportunity? You don't think he's
He's not
coming
gonna
back?
come back.
There's too much. There's too much heat.
It's too much.
Oh,
They are going to.
really?
Otherwise, we're going to have the presiding officer always in the arena, because I don't think this time around they are going to chew him alive.
Yes, this time there'll be no grace.
They are going to chew him alive.
Because he's already tainted at the Madanga Commission. So we now know. It's not me. It's the Madanga Commission, okay? We now know he's not as squeaky clean as my lord was forcing down our throats. And we were trying to say, but my lord, you can't be serious. The writing is on the wall, but it has now taken Madanga Commission to endorse us.
The other thing is, the other
Oh my
thing is,
God.
the other thing is, Mube said something very powerful.
Yeah,
Even a 5-year-old child,
he said it.
she can see if the firearm has a wheel and if doesn't have a wheel.
Mm, mm.
So that thing of saying you know nothing about, you are not even trained with firearms, therefore you are unable to
From
see whether it's
America.
got the wheel or not. Come on. Come on. If somebody said, I don't know this type of firearm, but
But it
what I
had a
know,
will.
it had a wheel. And
And then
now
my lord.
m- my Lord wanted to, as always, wanted to say they didn't find cartridges at the scene. When Nisi said they found a projectile.
Mm.
But now, Nisi, the statement, if you check the statement, are of a revolver, not of a pistol. Because if a pistol didn't, remember Mangena said, if the pistol didn't eject the cartridge case,
Mhm.
then it jams. It jammed, so it gets stuck. It can no longer shoot.
Emit. Mhm.
But now, 3 shots were fired. Where are the cartridge cases of at least 2?
Aware, aware, aware. That is the $1,000,000 question. Where are they?
So if you check the statement of the people that were in the house, are saying the gun had a wheel. That's why the police couldn't find the cartridge cases. And there was I don't know whether it was in Tabising or it was just one of the statements which said they saw Mangena taking
Uh-huh.
something out of the door. But now, Mangena didn't tell the court that I took the projectile out of the door. He kept quiet. So, what happened to that projectile that he took out of the door?
No, the projectile that he took out of the door the next day.
He- because
Just
the other
say.
one, the other one ricocheted and find itself
Came
between
back
the
inside.
glasses.
Okay, let's welcome Rob. Hi, Rob. Welcome, welcome,
Welcome,
welcome.
welcome,
I think it's
welcome.
your
I
first
think it's
time
the
on
first
my
time on
stage,
my stage.
Live, yes.
and I also think you are watching me on another device because we're echoing.
I'm using one device here.
Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. I hear you well.
You can hear me.
Welcome. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, come on. We got to give you a very nice warm welcome so that you come back.
Please.
You come back home. Typically, I listen to you when you are over there on Nani M Podcast, TikTok.
Sure.
So, guys, selfish plug, come follow us on TikTok, okay? We have fun over there. I just have been MIA because it's been hectic. My schedule has been hectic, but welcome, Rob, to Mzansi Unfiltered, the home of Witness You. Okay,
Exactly.
don't be a
How's
stranger.
it?
Very
No,
well,
I'm
thank
not.
you. How are you?
I see the other corner always. It's first time going live with you.
I
In the
know.
on the panel.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited. Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome, welcome.
I think the alphabet you still safe at Madanga there. So
I'm
yeah.
still safe. I'm holding on strong. Please, guys, let Mandanga know in advance.
Yeah.
Submit and let them know you cannot be used. It's not a letter of the alphabet anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. No, let me greet everyone who's on the panel and also comment section. And
I'm
to you,
good.
witness to you. I hope you're well.
I'm very well. Thank you so much.
Good, good. I'm not sure. Are you discussing randomly or do you have a specific topic that you're discussing?
We do random over here. And then we also,
Okay.
our specific guided topic was the 6 items that are missing, as you know, of course, triggered by the missing hat, the revelation. Huh?
Yes,
We have a whole
yes.
trial going on, and we have a hat that is missing, a revolver slash not revolver. We are not sure which of the two, the missing AVL records, the missing OB book. The more the case keeps going, we keep increasing on the missing. Okay. We're also missing the AVLs. We're missing the section 187. Well, Mass here is saying Geninda's not coming back. I need your opinion on that. Do you think my lord will really call his shiny new object Geninda, who's also an
Let,
ice boy at the Madlanga Commission? Do you think he will call him back to come and get
let
his
me answer
right of
that.
reply?
Let me answer
Yes.
that at the end. At the end, let me comment on the six missing points.
Yes, sir.
Before we can talk about the missing point, I think we need to be concerned on how the missing items are handled in that court. How the judge is not so surprised and concerned that things are missing. The
Not
court,
even concerned accused number 5 was drinking cold tea. Like, that's the upper
yeah,
levels.
it's,
He
is
doesn't
concerned
care.
about causa from the correctional service, is concerned about Skebengu, and is concerned about things that are not more related to this case. But here's the question. The AVL that are missing, they came to court and they said certain cars were not fitted with AVL. And they wanted to depose a statement or an affidavit for someone to say, to confirm that the AVLs are not fitted in all their vehicles. But here's the problem. Why every time a statement or an affidavit is the one that the Judge Rata accept and continue? He doesn't even question. And also, how convenient can it be that the critical cars or the cars that are required to assist him also are the ones that are not fitted with AVL? How convenient. The
Very
second
good.
one, the second one is the undefined towers. Remember the undefined towers, especially when Tanzi was saying, I want to understand the manner in which I was booked out every morning under the disguise of investigating the Nongoma case, and to a point whereby on the day where he was uh, booked out early morning after they arrived, just after midnight. I think he spent 4 or 5 hours. Then he was out again, and later that day, he made a confession. How convenient, also. And when he requested the other towers that can
can show and also corroborate the issue of not having a phone at Valeria, then those towers are undefined. And the other towers, they start nicely from Marikan, that side of Rustenburg, coming to Gauteng, and then from there, when Danzig requested a particular time, towers are undefined. Then we go to the Valeria story. How can you say someone who profiled to be a serious Mugulugut, a very serious person who is not supposed to be booked out every day? He needs to be kept in a very safe and secure place. But you find yourself booking him out every day, and you say at some point he's at Valeria, some point he's at Pretoria North, and you even at Brook Lane police station. And then when we want the occurrence books, or just one, only one that can prove that, then it's missing. And Judge Rather doesn't see anything wrong with that. He left it like that. He doesn't question it. Then we go to the new one, the one that is breaking news now, the head. All of a sudden, there's a way to use intensive search. Come on. You can't tell us about intensive search of the head. That head is part of the evidence. It's part of the exhibits that were supposed to be on the register to say these exhibits are under 636 case. And the case is still on. So how can you say I'm looking for? I mean, we have launched an intensive search. Then don't forget that the very same weapon was brought to court in a handkerchief. And also it was confirmed that the handling of the weapon was also from the unsealed bag. So all this broken stuff, chain of custody, all these undefined towers, all these missing AVLs, OBs, and so forth, they're bringing a lot of doubt in this case. And Judge Rata is supposed to be the one who is the forefront, requesting a clarity on how can these things go missing and end. But he's interested on say, you must come to me and tell me that they didn't give you hot coffee.
And then I'll still ignore you and not say anything about it anyway. Just come and tell me, and I say, okay, what shall we do next? Baloy, what shall we do next? The man didn't have his hot coffee. How about you call Mr. Koza, who's going to come and tell us why there's no hot water even for the coffee or tea? Wow.
And the worst part is that Balo will take a podium and say, my lord, we got a call saying with accused now so it's refusing to come, as if that's going to make the case strong. That means it's a side, the sideline, it's something on the side. We don't have to concentrate on it at all. To answer your question on Guinea, the Guinea is not going to be called.
What?
It was
Come
no.
on.
It's a mess.
I need him inside Parati within back again. I need to hear his voice to hear if he's still going to have that authority of I am Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda. We need to know if he's really an ice boy.
It's a nice boy in a cold case. I remember you meet
not
it.
coming?
No, it's not going to. Let me tell you why it's not going. It's not coming. Remember, Judge Rata used that to as a decoy when he wanted to admit those statements that were legally presented to him because they were not proven, and he said he'll call Girinda to come and prove some of those things that were said in the contents of those statements. But many things happen after that. Many things happen.
My brother.
Many things happen. So it's not going to happen, I can tell you.
It's
Thank
too
you.
late.
Thank you. That was the decoy. Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
So and then the other thing is that now the defense are wiser. They are wiser.
Oh yeah.
And they had and they had an opportunity.
No. The defense are led by Shalolo, okay? The queen who has access to crime intelligence. So my lord sees her in a very, very different light. He is afraid she's going to get exposure to some of, I don't know, just saying. Because my lord has changed ever since she began representing Dumisani Kumar. She's not representing him directly. I think she's representing Madando. I could be wrong. She's representing one of them. Anyway, they're crime intelligence. Ever since she's been going there, my lord has been kind and gracious with our queen. But
yes. But just to wrap up this point, this one of Kinid, remember now the defense had an opportunity now to link evidence. That's why what is happening now, they are putting exactly what the state said into a proper perspective. So they are no longer putting things into the court's records, but they put them into a proper perspective. That's why even Ngube, he can quote what the state said, and they are repeating what they said. So how do you object? How do Judge Rata try to help? I'll tell you when you discuss section 3(1)(c), that's where I'm going to show you something when you get to that point. I hope you get to it. But just to answer, I agree with my brother. Guinea is not going to be called. These guys, the defense are going to cut him into pieces. They will never expose him again. It's fine. He'll be protected like that. Yeah, let me pause here.
Wow. I'm sad. I would have loved to hear Keninda, the return, and hear how he defends himself after he's been dragged day in, day out, especially the way Mnuve has dragged him and made sure that his squeaky clean record is clear, that it is so muddy. And actually, for me, it makes sense why he wears the mask or why he showed up at his own local inspection of his own witnesses, not witnesses, of his own suspects in hiding. I always thought that was the weirdest thing. And it was from that day that, as soon as Patlane, shout out to General Patlane for giving us the page number. So ever since Patlane came through, I was like, oh, yes. How can a state employee, just a police officer, want to hide behind a Spider-Man mask? Get out of here. So, yeah, for sure. Very interesting. Mass, your reply, you have the right of reply. You have
Okay.
backup from Rob.
The other thing when it comes to the AVL, remember my brother, there was this other police guy who said all the cars were fitted with AVL. I think he was not well uh, 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 briefed that is the line of march, but he said it inside court that all the cars has an AVL. So all the AVL that are missing are the AVLs that are going to corroborate what the accused are saying. So they are not going to be there. So we know that those cars has AVL. The issue of, as you correctly put it, of Section 187, the presiding officer was trying to help the state to allow those statements to be read. He even said, no, I'll call all the police officers. But he knew that he was just playing us. He knew that probably those guys, the defense will forget. So that section, the Kinin, and remember now the guys, the defense team, they are just waiting for Kininda. Every time when they sorry, every time when they remind him about that section 187, they talk about Kininda and he will protect him. So yeah, he's not coming. The AVLs, it's a story that is buried. OB is buried. So they are now is the head. They only need the affidavit, and he's going to be okay with it. The other thing is, we are talking. He says accused number 5 was supposed to come to court and tell him that the tea was cold. He made a judgment that accused number 5 must move from Kosimamburu to where he was.
He did.
What happened to that judgment?
On that day,
So
even accused
if
number 5 said, please, can I go today? They're going to burn me just for revealing all their secrets.
so
And he's
he
still there.
yes, they are not taking him serious. And what Balo is saying, the accused refused tea. What they are trying to do is to paint the accused with a dark brush, that these are troublesome, they lie. So they want the public, especially that channel where SA Infotainment wants to go, because they know that they will eat that nonsense. They will eat that rubbish if they feed them with that rubbish of saying that the accused are troublesome and whatever. That is not important. At the end of the day, if these guys are abusing their power and not giving the accused their rights, not allowing their rights. I mean, how do you give a person a cold tea? Why do you give that person, if we, I mean, it's cold tea? No. So now, when we talk about their rights,
It's
then
if it's cold, it's no longer tea. It's water.
there is an
It's no lo-
iced tea.
I I don't know people drink iced tea or what they accomplish in life with that. If it's a hot beverage, it must be drunk hot. I stand with accused number 5. Give the man his hot tea or hot coffee. Yeah.
So now the judge is not saying, guys, do you know that this guy has rights? But no, he's concerned about uh, them coming to tell him that they were served cold drink, whereas he's got a judgment that said he must be removed. Why is he not asking himself, for this guy part is not supposed to be there? Why is he still at Kosimampur? That is the question that he should ask, especially ask the favorite son, the Evaloi. I mean, I made a judgment. Call that Skebengu. Is it Skebengu? Is it his real name? Skebengu. Skebengu, yeah, not Skebengu.
Skebengo.
Skebengu. Skebengu.
Skebengo.
That Skebengu
What is
Kosa,
it?
come here. I made a judgment. This guy is not supposed to be where he is now. Then we will start to take him serious. But is as long as he's still making judgment that are not even. I mean, he said he gave. They asked that guy Butelis to go back, but they still kept him at Kosimampu. So now, who's gonna take him serious?
That's why accused number 5 decided to take matters into his own hands when it comes to his tea. Because he's still at Hosimampur. We're like, why? Okay. In the judge's defense, what would motivate the accused to come? They told him last week they get into a dirty truck. What did he do about it? They told him they have to clean the truck. He did nothing. They told him about the cold water. He did nothing. They told him about the electrocution. He did nothing. They told him about the false statements. And he said, admitted provisionally. So, what is it that they'll be coming to say about the tea that he's going to finally rise to the occasion?
Absolutely nothing. He's not gonna do anything. So it's just a waste of time.
Complete waste of time. I stand with accused number 5. Handle your business. Don't come to court if it pisses my lord off. Oh well, he's got his entertainment. The young journalist. How did they get into chambers? That's what I want to know. Which means journalists have access to my lord's chambers. Follow me as I connect the dots. If these 2 young random student journalists, no offense to them, made it into my lord's chambers, then it means my lord's chambers are accessible during a trial. Mic drop right there. That's all I'm saying. Now connect the dots.
And you heard my lord saying he had a brief with them and said to them he must thank Tutu and Mandela and so forth. And then why didn't my lord tell them that, you guys, I'm presiding over a case where exhibits are missing
Mhm.
because he was briefing them. He must brief them in total information. Say, I'm sitting here in a case whereby don't tell them about the coffee only. Tell them also about the missing head. Because a missing head and the coffee are both of them are this week breaking news. So tell them. You only tell them about the blacks. The country is run by blacks. That's what we are telling them. We must thank Mandela and Tutu. But to there's something that as you said we can debate randomly. There's something that I've listened to one of your many videos. Here is a concern that I always have with Gwabeni's issue. Remember when Gwabeni was brought to court, before he can continue, Baloyi and Judge Ratha, they spoke about Section 204, and they said he needs to be careful because then he needs to be warned. And the question is, how do you say someone that was rejected or who rejected you from the state and now he's coming with a different cap as defense witness, and you say this person is still Section 204 because a Section 204, you're supposed to have charged him before. You must charge him, then later you strike a deal with him. Then you can call him Section 204. But if it fails, just like Ket Matlala, if it fails, then you can no longer call the person. He doesn't walk around with Section 204 tag. That tag is
Hanging
gone.
on his neck. Yes.
Exactly. So I'm asking myself that why, if someone is being declared Section 204, but you've never charged him, it's not accused number 6, because Gwabeni was supposed to be accused number 6 or 1 or whatever number, but at least in total, if before we can even get to Kelly, Gwabeni was supposed to be accused number 6. Then he struck the deal with NPA. He becomes Section 204. Then he changed
And
the
sells the others out.
Yes,
That's how it
and
works.
then that's how it works. But he comes there, and then all of a sudden you are bringing his statement, the very statement that you shredded. Now, because it's brought by the defense, you go there and you put it together, and you want to bring it back through the back doors or using the front door of the defense. The defense never even touched the statements. I don't even want to go to Makosong, just Gwabeni alone. So I'm having a serious problem, and it goes back to the issue of Makaleni, that how can the state want to have their bread buttered both sides? Because on the other side, they have jam, the other side, they've got a nice margarine or peanut butter, and they want to enjoy. Because their own, the firstborn of Rata, which is Gininda, he's the one who told us that the gold tooth information is coming from Makaleni's statement. So why should now who's this? Numalo, when you say I'm intending to use that statement, therefore I'm going to apply for Section 2 or 3, and then you Section 3, then somebody stand up and say we're going to oppose it. And Judge Arata said it's fine. You can oppose it. They can quote me in Mudluli's case, and also I'll bring a special case from Britain. Is going to land at UR Tambo. I'll bring it for you. Hi, this is
Look, my brother. Ne? Remember, what we are watching is not real court. We are watching
a drama, a series,
a drama,
podcast.
a series, a tavern. Last I said to MU that even Zungu, they consider him as Section 204.
Without telling us.
And Kelly Kumalo,
he's not officially declared though.
Yes.
But yes, they treat
even
him
Kelly
as a
Kumalo,
Section 204.
everybody, all the witnesses that were listed by state, according to state and the presiding officer, I don't call him a judge. I don't call him my lord because he doesn't have that status. I'm calling him the presiding officer because if you are going to say he's a judge, he has to be a judge. But now he's a witness. He's a presiding officer. He's a prosecutor. So I'll rather call him the presiding officer. So what I'm trying to say is all the witnesses that were listed by the state, somehow they have statements. And should the defense dare to call them, they are going to say they are Section 204. Even Kaylee, if the defense called her, she's going to be the Section 204. Even
Okay.
the cleaner, if she comes, she's going to be Section 024.
The
But
clean.
you are rightfully saying Section 204, that's how they're supposed to be. Section 204, they needs to be charged, like, but not in that tavern. That tavern, you are watching something else. So don't expect things that are run in a normal court to be in that tavern. That's my submission.
So thank you. So someone also added to the list of missing items from the SENZO MEYIWA case. Missing accused number 0, Kelly Kumalo, to the front of the room. She's missing, and Ngube is like, oh, so you're saying I communicated with her, but you cannot produce her Section 205s. Where are Kelly Kumalo's Section 205s? We know they exist because Ngomezulu carried them into that court and was called all sorts of names by Chikotwala. We miss you, Manela. Where are you? It's been too long. You are too quiet because Umamuchola next door.
We always. You took the whole album.
I think I need what are they called? Royalties. Chikotwala, let's talk. You gotta start paying me royalties because I think that was a brilliant. I landed that plane so well.
Yeah. This case, sometimes you need to listen to it twice. Ramasipili,
Yes. You have to
Ramasipili
listen to
brought,
it when it's going live. Because when you're
and
listening to
then
it live, you're reactional. But then when you listen to it a second time, you're now like analytical. You're like, oh man, Ramasipili missed that point. So yeah, go ahead.
my two takeaways from Ramasipili, just simple one: the de novo statement, and also the who's this? The uncle Tuntuli Mabongi Ntuli or something. I'll come back to that one. I think it's Mabongi or something Tuli. With the de novo statement,
Mabongo Ntuli.
Mabong Ntuli, yes.
Mabongo Ntuli is the one who was in the car with them.
Yeah, remember what happened? The number that belongs to Mabongo Ntuli, it was given to Sfiso.
Oh yes.
It was given to Ntuli, the accused number 5. Okay.
Yes.
And then Steenkamp considered that he made a mistake, and which is not a mistake, it's a cooking that went wrong. And then he said, no, the number doesn't belong to accused number 5. It belongs to Ntuli, the deceased Mabongi Ntuli. And also, he considered that number never called Ntanzi, because they took Mabongi Ntuli's number, they allocated to accused number 5, and then they said accused number 5 called Ntanzi. And
then they forgot to add that information in their fake statements.
Exactly. You see. Then the other thing is the key witness, which is Constable Zung. When he deposed his statement in 2023, Ramasipili said it was purely because of the case went de novo. So even the statement went de novo because now the contents of the statement was to push the narrative now of the intruders. And then remember, we didn't get the notes. The notes were shredded. How do you shred the notes? We didn't get the notes because we wanted to know if the notes were talking something different. But now The case is on. The ship have sailed. The horse is bolted. Then you want to come with a statement. And the person who deposed a statement in 2023, he was watching the case on TV, and he also had a discussion with MPA. And look what happened. When you go to the contents of the statement, you pick up that the photos that are in the indictment are also having references. How did he manage to get the references? The issue of the red shirt, the red T-shirt that somebody changed and wear a red T-shirt and went on top of the table and celebrate that SENZO is no more. Those informations you got, where do you get them? That's why now you bring the
Watching.
lime green. You're bringing the lime green and the red T-shirts. But the problem is, then when you go back to Kwabeni, remember General Lushabani said, I was looking for this Kwabeni. I said, if I can get Kwabeni,
I can
I'm
get.
going to take this. And then the same Kwabeni, he says, no, I don't know anything. When he gets to meet with Baloyi, they say, no, Muzi implicated you. And he said to them, take everything that Muzi said and put it into my statement, then I'll sign. Then the statement was forced to be read. We listened to the statement. We didn't hear what Muzi said about Kwabeni. We didn't hear anything. So it means the authors of the statement went on to write the statement for Kwabeni, but they want to claim that the information that is inside that statement is offered or donated by Muzi. But we didn't hear anything.
I didn't hear
So
anything that ties Muzi. That's so true.
exactly. And then the Lushabani says he was looking for Kwabeni. And then also we heard that the senior Zungu, the father, he's the one who had information. That's why Zungu traveled to Emelo side, I think it's Pumalanga side, to look for the father with a picture. But now the star witness is not Baba Zungu now. The star witness is the son. So now we have the Father, the Son, and then the Holy Spirit is
Holy
Gilinda.
Ghost.
So all of these three people, when you put together what they are saying, it's something else. Then the last takeaway, before I can give another speaker, the last takeaway is the J50. J50, that was never
Kelly.
saved. That is Kelly's
Yeah.
J50. The contents of J50 is talking about the revolver. Okay? But what happened? How did we find ourselves now dealing with 9mm? I'll give you an example. There's a case that we read and we dissected in the TikTok world. The Shabangu versus the state that went to constitutional court. In that case, Shabangu has been arrested 13 days after the crime happened, and they found him with a weapon. But now the contradiction was that one of the police was saying what they found in his possession is 0.75mm, and the other one says 9mm. But the judge continued to convict the person with this conflicting description of a weapon, and the matter went to Apex Court, and he won. He was sentenced to 2 years. He won. He was acquitted purely because of, number one, they were abusing section 168 and what? I think 2 sections. I'll check them. They abused 2 sections. I think the other one
167 and 186. 167 and 186.
186. Yes, they abused the judge, that the lady abused these 2 sections because the judge wanted the witnesses. She called the witnesses that were not called, and the questions were more direct, to a point whereby it's more like coercing them to give the certain information so that she can make a judgment. But the point that I'm raising is that even in this case that we are 636 that we are dealing with, how is Judge Rata going to navigate? Because none, and absolutely none of the witnesses mentioned 9mm, including Ginida's J50 that he was about to apply, get it signed so that they can arrest Kelly.
Actually, the
It's a problem.
J50 warrant of arrest is proof that then, because the J50 was for the revolver. So now they
Yes.
couldn't arrest Kelly and bring her because then they have proof of the revolver. Because all the others, they've chucked it under, what do they know about firearms? They just made a mistake. They don't know what they're talking about. But then that specific one is Gininda saying it's a revolver. So that's a huge problem for them. And therefore, Kelly's never going to be called, except if Team Defense brings her, which would be very interesting. So, do you think Makubo is coming? Because he still hasn't come. Oh, accused number 5. Yeah, I think that's where he fits in. Right?
Before
Yes.
before you go to Makubo, Makubo,
Mm-hmm.
my brothers mentioned something very important, especially when coming to the gun. Uh, he says the J50 of Kelly, it says a revolver. Accused number 3, Ngube says the gun that they are saying, he's not saying they found me with. He says they are saying they found me with was supposed to be destroyed in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that was brought in court, where my Mangena went to fetch it in 2019, do you think if the gun was meant to be destroyed in 2017 can stay 2 years before it can be destroyed?
Just waiting. It's just chilling. Like, oh, what a busy day to destroy myself. It's too convenient. And the fact that the bag was open. For me, the fact that the bag is open, I don't know why we're discussing anything else. Even Mangena, shame on you. In fact, I think we should summon the FBI to know what Mangena's up to, walking on these streets saying, I'm FBI certified. But then I go around taking
MU,
open sealed bags.
the bag was opened because the gun
Was replaced.
they were supposed to take out the gun and destroy it in 2017. For me, that gun was destroyed. Though
Mm-hmm.
then the bag was left there. So
In
now
case it's needed on a good
the
day.
question is, who's that gun that we saw in the car in court?
Good
Who's the
question.
owner of that gun?
I think
Because there's no way the
Mangen.
gun can be meant to be destroyed in 2017 and wait for 2 years. There's no way.
Yeah.
The question is
uh,
the owner of that gun. Who is it?
And when are they coming? I think that if they put it in ballistics, the real ballistics system by a real ballistics team over there at not Silverton, in KZN, in 3 days we'll have all our answers that we need to know. And it won't be what Kininda wants us to know. Kininda won't be very happy.
My brother, MU, my brother, it's bringing a very serious point, because if if they are struggling to get the head, should we ask to get the real gun that was tested? Are we going to get it? Because how do you judge that? How do you judge that accept a weapon that arrived, a gun exhibit that arrived to you in a handkerchief, and you invite people to come and check it as if you know what you are checking? Because that time when Judge Rata was inspecting that
Pass it
weapon,
around.
what exactly was he checking? And it was brought in a cloth, wrapped in a cloth. Why it was not in a sealed bag and open in front of everyone for whatever reason? Because I don't know what's the reason of bringing that weapon during Mangena's evidence in chief, because it was brought when he was led by Balui. Why?
Mm-hmm.
And again, why Judge Rata is ignoring the statement that says this weapon, the one, not this one, not the one in court, the one that was the allegedly found in Mube's residence, it was tested against other crimes that happened, and it came out zero. And they said, including the first Flores case, and the
Mm-hmm.
results was zero. Then it was done. They were done because they convicted Nube based on what? Illegal possession of that weapon and the ammunition that they found or allegedly found in this place. then it was destined to be destructed. That's all. Then how did you? Somebody asked in TikTok, I think it was today when we engaged in the post that I made in TikTok to say who alerted them that there is a weapon, because it was not on IBIS. It was not.
Mhm.
It was not on on any central system that can alert you like a machine in casino saying bingo, 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 we won. Come, no. Who said we've got the right weapon? Because even the projectile itself, it was not entered into IBIS. So this the real weapon for Cleveland was on the system. That's why they pulled out the report for it, and they found no other crime that occurred. Therefore, nothing. They cannot keep it in SAP 13 now. They must destroy it. But now you don't put the projectile that you claim to have found at the Kumalo's house 24 hours later. You don't put it on IBIS. But you are so fortunate. You have your gods telling you in your sleep to say, hey, there's a weapon at Cleveland that can match the projectile that is in your bag, in your car, or in your office, Mangena. Defeating the ends of justice also.
So true. So
No,
I want to
I
answer
think
your first. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no. I just wanted to say, I think uh, the 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 projectile that was found at Kumalos was put in the IBIS because Mnube says they tested his gun, the alleged gun, through the IBIS, and it said nothing. So it is there. That is why he's saying the alleged gun that was exhibited in court in that tavern, it belongs to the two police officers, Kininda and Mangen, not him. So I think he's right by saying that, because uh it doesn't make sense. He was going to be arrested in 2015. If
100%.
that he was going to be arrested because there was an order that says you test each and every gun. And if General Shabane says test, how can he just take out that instruction and say test it, whereas he knows that there is nothing at the IBC machines? He knows. So he was supposed to be arrested then. That is why uh, uh, I'm saying that this this is the third gun. We have the one that was used, which is a revolver. We have the one that was used to arrest Mube, and we have this is the third one. The question is who's the owner of this one?
So you had Rob, you had mentioned why did they bring the gun to why did Baloy bring the gun to court? It's very simple. Baloy and Gininda, the prosecutorially led ICE drinks unit, they know the kind of Judge Rutter is. They know he's easily influenced and they wanted him to touch it. And when he's doing what is it called? Looking at all the evidence in its totality and not just in silos, he's going to remember touching physically the firearm. And therefore, there's not going to be any revolver in his mind. He's going to remember the firearm that he held. So that was very strategic why they did it. But then in the same breath, they can't bring the hat physically into the court. One, it's missing. But most importantly, because if they bring it in, then the defense will say we're bringing our own DNA expert and dun dun to verify the DNA. Because remember, Kininda and the judge, the brand new qualified DNA experts, including Georgie, are saying that it doesn't matter. Whatever was found is enough to convict. The 2% evidence is enough. Like, never mind what the real expert said. We are applying our own knowledge here. So that's why I think they brought the firearm. It was My lord is a very visual guy. That's why he said, I think it was on Friday when he said, I remember. And then Shololo said, he remembers specific things, especially things that irritate him. But then when it comes to the bare minimum, like names of the accused, he, up to today, he can't remember it. Is with ease.
No, I get you. I get you.
So I want us to, so I think, thank you so much for joining us, guests. I think we've covered the 6+ missing items. I think we have to update it because someone said also Zungo's missing statement, handwritten statement. Um, Kelly needs to be added, the undefined towers. So I want us to go back to solitary confinement because I think the hints are there. The hints are there. I'm going to play this clip from when we first found out about the troubles Ncube experiences under the leadership of Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Geninda on page 283 of Paul O'Sullivan's book. I think the answer lies there. With the first two, accused number 1 and 2, they had to torture them and panel beat them into place to take their positions in this storyline. But then with the 3 accused, who it's not their first time inside court or being arrested, they know a little bit more. That's why they had to mentally strain accused number 3. Because do you guys remember accused number 3 when they pounced on the correctional service guy for sitting on top of the, not sitting on the bench, but the head of the bench, I guess that's what I can call it. And then there was a scuffle inside the court. And then after that scuffle happened, of course, Georgie reported it to my lord. And again, my lord did nothing about it. Do you remember that? That is the Mncube, as short as he is, respectfully, that he's a fighter. You can tell that he is a fighter. And I also appreciate that he demanded a Zulu speaking native, Zulu speaking born interpreter. Because if you listen to him, he's not giving us any grand gestures, any theatrics, anything like that. He's just saying the bare minimum. And it's so clear and easy to understand, except it gets lost in translation, which is such a disservice. But okay. So I'm going to get closing comments from Rob and Mass, and then we're going to segue into Ncube's solitary confinement, how it all started.
Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity for joining you guys. I'm saying when you look at section 3 that Nxumalo want to apply for, number 1, there is no prejudice when you want to implement it. Number 2, there is a reason why the witness cannot come because the witness is deceased, and then also is for the interest of justice. And if you check section 3(1)(c), those are the key points that the judge need to look at before he can grant the permission to accept the application. I don't see any point that can make Judge Rata to overrule the application or to decline the application, because based on the 4, I think it's got 6 elements, and I've mentioned 4 already. The reason why Nxumalo wants to go there, it is because we want to go deeper into the contents of Makaleni's statement. They decided to mention only when Makaleni was talking about a person with a gold tooth, and we ask ourselves whether this person, when he was running out of the Khumalo yard, was smiling for Makaleni, so to see that or what. But want to hear what Makaleni said, because you'll be surprised that what Makaleni said is going to contradict everything that Kininda said. And then again, Nxumalo has already read that statement. I'm sure he's going to pick up whereby he wants to know what Makaleni said about his client, because Makaleni needs to be able to tell us. Because if Makaleni can see allegedly Ncube, who was inside the house coming out running, then Magalani should able to identify people who were the spotters who were standing outside, which is one of them must be accused number 4. So it means we want to know why, and besides confessions and other things, why accused number 4 was arrested, based on what. And if we don't pick up that from Makaleni, then it will be a problem, because people who were in the house, they didn't see more than 3 people. They said they saw 2 people, the 2 intruders. And then the story of common purpose, that all 5 people played their role, the individual roles there. So that's why I'm saying I don't see how Judge Ratha is supposed to say no to the application, because the application meets all the standards or key points that are required for Section 3. And then my last point will say, I don't know why we don't have a van or 2 vans standing outside of that high court, because that high court on its own is a crime.
Immediately, that
It's a
whole
crime
high
scene.
court, just march them all into the van. We'll talk later. 'Cause
Yes, it's a crime scene, because many things are happening there. And yeah, we keep on asking ourselves, wow, how can a court have so many breaking news every day? So yeah, that's my potential. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And Mass?
Thank you, my brother. I think you summed it well there. My last point is Mncube. I think that solitary confinement, it was meant to destroy him. I think based on the history of between him and Gininda knows that accused number 3 is smart.
Mm,
He knows his story. So
mm.
that was his way of punishing him and trying to get into his psychological thinking. He wanted to destroy him mentally and psychologically.
Let me ask you
And
this while we're on
if
that point. Why does Geninda have authority inside correctional services? How?
slash
Is
fund,
there an
I think
amalgamation? Oh, okay.
slash fund, I've answered your question. Slash fund, allegedly. So now, uh, what I can say now is big up to Mncube.
100%.
He proved them wrong. And all I can say is I wish him strength. He's
Mm.
doing very well. He's just only left with, because I think the Temi doctor is going to be the one who's going to cross-examine. He just have to
No.
destroy him. And I like what he's doing when the presiding officer descend into the arena.
He
He's
pushes him
answering
back.
him.
He's
He's
telling him.
making sure that he's putting him back where he belongs without throwing emotions.
Yep.
Uh, so that's what I can say. I think most people can learn from him that no matter what situation you are in, or
Speak
when
for
people
yourself.
are putting you in hell, just be strong and
Mm.
focus. That's what I can
I,
say now. He's so focused.
I think he deserves a round because, like I said, I had not much expectations from him. Didn't really quite follow his story before. But then hearing it from his version and the passion, and that he doesn't care who it is, whether it's Gininda, Zungu, the lying police officer, or my lord jumping in with clarification. He will clarify for my lord, and my lord will have no further questions after. It is absolutely brilliant that he stands for himself. He knows his story. It's a very simple story. He knows his story. He knows his own hair. He's like, I was born light in complexion, ladies and gentlemen. The Kumalos are right in who they described. And he endorses that description. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not me. Okay, leave me alone. But let's go into, we've gone on and on. I think we could talk for 7 hours on this topic, but I really want us to get into the second part of our live stream, which is solitary confinement, so that, you know, when Mncube is being passionate, you understand that this man has been in the hole for more than 4 years. Yeah, 4 years plus. Truth Teller says, how do we call in? There's a link right at the top. There's Mzansi Unfiltered. You can click it. And then in the background, I think you do one or two, three things. You name yourself, you come in, and then you're live. You're in the live stream. So if you're going to do that now. Otherwise, we're starting with solitary confinement. Thanks to our special guests today, friends of the channel. Appreciate you so much. Selfish plug. Make sure you follow me on TikTok. Make sure you follow me on Facebook. It's the same thing, Mzansi Unfiltered. There's no AI on my channel. If there's any other AI kind of looking people, it's not me. Okay, you'll always have my own self voice there. And no, don't ask me for my photo face. I have to do another video because I found some stuff and I was like, really? Is this what people have to say about Mzansi Unfiltered? Very, very sad. But I'll do a separate video on that. Let me not digress now. Let's get into it.
Hearings, Advocate Nisi addressed the court on the basis that his client has been unlawfully detained, in the sense that he spends only 1 hour out of the 24 hours where he could say that is his own time in prison, where he's allowed, supposed to have exercises, etc. Mr. Nisi also complained about the fact that he sometimes cannot have the opportunity to consult with his client. So the last hearing I undertook to speak to Judge Cameron. I didn't do it.
I didn't do it, says Judge Rata. Of course, he cites his reasonings. Not only does he cite his reasonings, he also comes up and call, thank you so much. Well,
That I intended approaching him in connection with your client's complaints. He told me that Cameron, judge, had already written a letter to him. In that letter, they were discussing, amongst other things, the fact that judges of the high courts, when they make orders which proclaim accused persons who are there for, who are detained, pending them being certified to be compos mentis, meaning that they can stand trial. But before they do that, a psychologist, psychiatrist, or doctor must examine that type of person. And normally the judges only make a blanket order that the accused person is referred to Stadfontein, or whichever hospital, mental hospital, or vet copies, whatever. And sometimes in the system, the accused persons are never again visited upon by the psychiatrist. So Judge Cameron was complaining that these persons fall through the cracks because their detention is not defined. And he was insisting that maybe judges should make orders defining exactly that this 90-day period, what should happen to it. And preferably an order which is justifiable to detain this person for mental examination should be about 90 days, but within 90 days or at the end of 90 days, that person should again be seen in court by a judge who will then determine whether in fact this person is being treated or not. Judge Cameron also made mention, it's public knowledge, that he believes that some of the detentions are, as he puts it, are inhuman in the sense that they do not have consideration of the constitutional rights of some of the prisoners, and that sometimes the Bill of Rights is being compromised in that fashion, in that they are not given enough time to go and exercise. They are not accorded time to be visited by their loved ones or relatives or wives, and that he thought that exigency should be visited upon by the Department of Correctional Services, which apparently he did. And JP Mlambo, when I discussed that there is this complaint about the human rights pertaining actually to the detention or the confinement of awaiting trial prisoners, or there are certain complaints which have been visited upon, for instance, by Mr. Mnisi. The JP's view, which I agree with, is that this is a comprehensive question of the alleged infringement of the Bill of Rights, and he cannot alone, because there are 5 or 6 or 9 divisions of the Supreme Court, of the High Court here. It must be a general dispensation which is accorded by the Director of Public Prosecutions.
So Judge Rata approached the JP Mlambo, and JP Mlambo said, "Not my monkey, and not my circus. Definitely cannot comment." Several times that. So now
I always feel
my
weird
clients,
listening to myself.
let's continue on. Inmates and
This and others versus Nduli and Judicial Inspectorate for Correctional Services as amicus. I'll give you a copy of this. This case was finalized on the 13th of September 2023 by my brother, Anta Halter. He was sitting with 4 other judges. And this case, I think it's the most comprehensive decision in South Africa concerning the Bill of Rights as it pertains or affects so-called prisoners or persons who are detained. If you read this case, you'll be able to find your way how you must approach the question of your client. Okay. It pertains only to that one. It pertains only to a so-called accused person or prisoner who wanted to exercise his rights to study, and he wanted to be accorded the right to have a computer, which he must utilize for his studies. But it traverses the Bill of Rights pertinently as it pertains to persons like your client. The only way you can visit that exigency is to bring an application to court, as suggested by Mr. Baloyi, which will have to define your client's rights pertaining to his incarceration, confinement, study, or exercise, visitations by friends, accused persons, or parents, etc., etc. So your only option, because when I read that decision, apparently it accords with what Mr. Ngumalo was telling Baloyi and yourself about the fact that apparently your client is alleged to be, I don't know, a security risk, whatever they mean by that. So you have to bring an application. There is no other way you can do it, because the Director of Correctional Services is alleged to be, I don't know, a security risk, whatever they mean by that. So you have to bring an application. There is no other way you can do it, because the Director of Correctional Services is the one who frames these regulations which control the incarceration of persons or prisoners, either awaiting or trial or those who are already sentenced. Okay. That's all I can tell you.
As it pleases the court, Mala, I'm indebted to the court, and thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
for someone who listens in court, Judge Rata surely does not listen in court. I mean, Omnisi only managed to get out a thank you so much. I am indebted to the court. Clearly, there's a comma there, not a full stop, comma, as in he's going to say more. But the court immediately says, okay. No, Judge Rutter, you are not getting off the hook that fast. It does not end there with the reading of the case of Untuli last year, which was concluded. No, no, no. You can hear the sheer disappointment in Omnis's voice. But, you know, attorneys, advocates, lawyers, they are creatures of instructions, and he must continue with the instructions from his client. I have to say, kudos to him for not throwing in the towel. Nisi proceeds to restate again why this is not going to work. This is not going to work. These are the instructions from my client. And you know what? Let the interpreter interpret this as well. I don't want my client to think I'm the one saying this. So to me, that was an indication of Nisi's having a hard time. Accused number 3 is giving him a hard time. Accused number 3 is giving him instructions and saying, hey, those are my instructions. Why aren't you following my instructions? So advocates cannot ignore the instructions of their clients. So he is caught between a rock and a hard place because 1, he definitely understands the plight of his clients. 2, he wants to work with his client and help him find a solution to this. And the court has just said, just do an application. Okay, just go ahead, do an application. You're on your own on this one. And Missy says, yeah, there's legal aid issues. I'm not going to be able to do this. I've told the court before. And he goes on and on and on. This for me was a devastating blow. Absolutely devastating blow. You know, when you expect better, I don't know. I guess it's time to accept that this is it. This in Guatemala or do it.
What you're trying.
Commentary.
I'm not so sure whether I need to get a directive from Mr. Mngu.
Yeah, you'll tell him what the law says and what that judgment pertinently says. That's the only judgment in South Africa.
Yes.
Concerning a Bill of Rights, concerning what your client complains about, amongst other things. Okay.
Yes. I'm not certain whether I can also request that what the court has just alluded to be interpreted to him as well.
Okay, fine. Mr. Interpreter, are you listening?
Yes, no, not.
Yeah,
But
fine.
it was a bit long.
Yeah, okay. No, the salient parts of it.
As the court places.
May I approach?
Yes.
Is it please the court? My Lord, unfortunately, Mr. Mngu instructs me that it has come to a point where he can no longer take it because he has been in that situation that I explained before the recess for 4 years.
Yeah, great.
And now that it is indicated to him that unfortunately there is nothing that can be done in the meantime to assist him. And the only way through which he can be assisted is for him to bring a substantive application before another court to challenge his situation.
Yes.
He therefore requests, my Lord, that this trial should then stop.
Stop.
Yes. It is his request. Those are my instructions. That is what he's instructing me.
I know there's a political party which wanted to stop.
Maybe the word stop. It's another way, but then that the continuation with this trial be suspended in the circumstances, my Lord, to afford him the opportunity to contact his family, which he does not know how he's going to do it, to try and find out on his behalf if there's an attorney and an advocate who will be willing to bring that application for him. Because he is saying further, he will not be in a position to start to drive or to prosecute that application when he's also concentrating in this case. And most unfortunately as well, my Lord, I am also not in a position to assist in that application when I'm also supposed to be concentrating on this case. I can't be expected in the afternoon to go and assist in the drafting of papers. Also prepare for the following day to come cross-examine and listen to, to analyze testimonies of witnesses and cross-examine them in this case. It's that will further perpetuate the injustices that he is complaining about, because then I will have to share my concentration. Fortunately, I would not be able to confront two fronts from different angles. To confront two fronts at a go. That I will not be able to do.
So you're saying this trial must be terminated because you don't want to, you have used the word stop.
No,
so you're saying it must be terminated. What are you saying?
No, my lord.
What are you saying?
As I said, probably the word stop came out in a rather unsavory way. He's basically requesting that he be afforded the opportunity to try and get an attorney and an advocate through his family that is going to assist him. But the unfortunate part is he will not be in a position to do that when he's also attending this court. So that means for him to be able to fight the battle, which is such a mammoth battle that he's supposed to fight, is for this trial to be suspended for a while.
Suspended for how long? Let me tell you, I've never ever heard of a trial which is suspended on those bases.
Let me then explain the following. Probably the court is also for the first time that is meeting a situation where a person is held in solitary confinement for 4 years, which is the reason why the court has not yet heard
let me tell you, wait. I just went out of my way. No judge will do what I did.
Yes.
Research the law and come with an SEA decision to you. And I can tell you, this matter, this has been taken on appeal. Are you aware of that? That is the case.
I know Advocate Michelle that did refer to the case.
Yeah, but
this case at some point.
It's been taken on appeal to the Constitutional Court. So the Constitutional Court, I don't know when they are going to handle that matter, because whatever they do, that case is the most relevant. Because
it's the binding authority.
That's it, yeah.
The circumstances, my lord, of this case, as I heard the court trying to elucidate on them, are different in that somebody who is not held in a solitary confinement is requesting for amenities to enable him to study, like laptop and all those other studying gadgets. But here, we are talking of a person who is mentally drained, a person that has been in solitary confinement, who has got no access to television, who has got no access to a radio, who has got access to virtually nothing, no newspaper, no nothing. And he is supposed, or he is expected to formulate a defense in a case of such a magnitude. That is totally unfair. That is totally unfair. So these two cases are totally distinguishable.
Remember, this was in the past. I have to pause it right there to comment from the future. Remember that this solitary confinement in Dontoni hearings with the judge, accused number 3 was in solitary confinement, and he had been there for 3 years. And Nisi says he is unable to formulate his defense. Now that he is inside Pagati within his defense, wow, this was brilliant. This is me from the future, going back to what Nisi said in the past, and now having listened to the defense of accused number 3 to say this was brilliant that they got him out of solitary confinement. And in conclusion, it was a method to break him to ensure he doesn't formulate his defense. He had no access to a computer, no access to newspapers, no access to TV, access to nothing. He wouldn't have even known about the Matlanga Commission. Do you guys realize that? Okay, let's continue. Let's continue together. Let's walk this road together. Wait, am I on mute? No, I'm not. Let's go.
Are you saying just to draft a founding affidavit challenging the conditions under which he's been incarcerated, you need this trial to stop?
My Lord, I am only conveying what he is.
No, you're fine. No,
because maybe he personally intends, because even his funding in respect of this case is done by legal aid.
Yeah, you can apply for legal aid again, no problem.
I'm not even so sure whether, my Lord, that they will be able to do that, but I will try. I'll try to communicate with them during lunchtime. If circumstances permit, I'll bring the answer after lunchtime.
No, I can tell you now.
Yes.
The interests of justice don't allow that request. I can't. In this case, there are 4 or 5 accused persons before me. There are the complainants, there are the witnesses, even myself. I can't be sitting in this case until I die.
Maybe, my Lord,
So,
my Lord, in those circumstances, because this is a situation sui generis, probably it will be a justification. Now I'm thinking out of the box. It will be a justification to apply for a separation of trial there, to afford him the opportunity to go and attend whatever that he wants to attend meanwhile the trial, so that to prejudice the other accused with the continuation of the trial.
If you say you want a separation of trial,
yes,
what happens to the evidence which has been led? I've never heard.
It is simply relevant.
I've never heard of a separation of trial at this late stage. Never.
But does the court really understand, my Lord?
I do.
To stay in solitary confinement.
I do. That's why.
For 4 years. What does it do to the mind of a person?
That's why I became consent.
Yes.
I engaged the JP. I engaged the Directorate of Inspections. And I even went to the law. And this is not a difficult application, please. It concerns a Bill of Rights. That's all it concerns.
My Lord, it is so. It might not be a difficult application to a person who knows the law.
Yeah.
But to a person like him,
you know the law.
But I've just indicated, my Lord, that I'm not prepared even with an inch to concentrate in this trial, at the same time be involved in a separate substantive application, which has got to do with his housing. That I'm not prepared to do.
Fine.
And if I'm not prepared to do it, my Lord, then he then has got to do it himself. That is where then that notion of to draft an affidavit for in terms of a person who knows the law might not be a tedious thing, but to a person who knows the law, such as him, it's going to be a very tedious
Yeah, he's
thing.
going to instruct a lawyer, obviously. Okay. I'm sorry, I can't accede to any of those requests. Separation of trials,
instructions.
stop the trial. I can't do that.
Let me take instructions, my
Yeah,
Lord.
fine.
But before I do that, I also wish to bring it to the attention of the court, my Lord, that it also hinders me, because instructions that are coming from him, at some stage, they don't make sense. You can see that this is a psychologically impaired instruction. They just don't make a sense, man. It also hinders me a lot, and I'm expected to bring sense to the court. How do I bring sense to the court in circumstances where I'm getting instructions that are psychologically hindered by virtue of the fact that a person has been in custody in solitary confinement for 4 years? I don't think even at Guatemala prison, that is still the position. Thank you. Let me take instructions.
Yeah, okay, fine.
That was up. My goodness, my goodness. While he takes instructions, let's hear from our panel. If you're still available, come through. Let me hear your thoughts.
Guatemala.
This is a great video. I'm glad we took the time to go back.
Yeah. You know, before I can comment, am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. Let me comment by looking at the judge Rata, because as I said, this case sometimes it's nice when you watch it twice.
Yes.
The judge is always acting as if he's interested in this thing of helping, but he's not. Actually, he's the one who caused the problem, because Judge Rata doesn't listen with the intention to comprehend what you are saying, then from there offer a solution. He wants to act like he's so good with crisis management, he's so good with advisors, but he's poor because even Msholo at some point taught him how to do crisis management. Because right now, you are not listening to yourself. He's claiming to have spoken to people, but he spoke to wrong people. You said you spoke to the JP, you spoke to this and that. Those are wrong people because here, guys, we are talking about Section 30 of the Correctional Service Act. We're not talking about anything else. Forget about Criminal Procedure Act. Here, we're talking about the Correctional Service Act and it's Section 30 of it. And it goes together with the main, the premier Section 35 of the Constitution, which is talking about the human right, or maybe we'll talk about the fair trial protection. In this case, if you was pause for a second and say, who applied for Section 30 of the Correctional Service Act? That person must come and tell us based on what, because those things are very limited, MU. It's either for medical reason why somebody is being isolated, it's because of the risk of escape, and
Yeah.
maybe you nearly wanted to escape. It's also protection from you being a threat to your fellow inmates, or you've been the subs are the one who requested for the interest of administration of justice to keep you in isolation because there's certain information that they don't want you to impart, or they want to keep you in preserve you in a certain way. But it's also very limited. It cannot be 4 years because you must apply for it and it must be granted. Who applied for it? Here's a good question that Rata was supposed to ask. Who applied for Section 30 of the Correctional Service Act? Then that person is the one who's supposed to first explain it, because he is bringing people like Koza and them to come and explain the issue of water, geyser, whatever, coffee, dirty van, and so forth. But in this point, he doesn't ask who, because you can see that this guy, Nube, he didn't have a medical condition. He
Yeah.
never attempt to escape. He never fought with anyone.
It
It
never
tells you
caused
that
problems. Wasn't found with the
exact,
contraband.
exact. It tells you that it's subs that requested correctional service to put him in a solitary confinement, but did they apply for it? Did the commissioner of correctional service listen to that and then granted them that request? And did they also have some parameters to say we are going to be putting him here for the following reasons, and the period is going to be 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, and then from there we'll take him back to other people? But Judge Ratha is acting as if he's listening to help, but he's listening to boost about being, I'm the only judge who's doing this. Other judges won't do that. I'm the only judge who, but you're doing nothing. Other judges, other courts, they're doing something. There's a progress. You are acting as if you are doing people a favor, and there's no. We don't need your favor. We just need you to apply the law. But going back to
And he
the
loves to say, I'm the only judge who would ever do this. No other
no
judge would
other.
do it.
Yes, yes. He's the senior judge in the whole world, according to him, because everyone is a junior. Even the one in the KZN province is a junior. He said that person is a junior. He must give me it was a mess to say who's that judge that side with the case that Mshola said I'm part of the defense. And immediately when Mshola said I'm part of the defense, at least that statement tamed him a little bit, because he was going all over with this thing of saying Kunisala doesn't want to give evidence. But going back to this, you can see with Muzi and Danzi, they were assaulted in many ways. They were deprived enough time to sleep, especially in Danzi was booked out in these guys to go and investigate non-coma
He was a
case.
tour guide. Hmm.
Yeah, it's the very same person who is profiled to be dangerous with too many cases, but he was all over between Johannesburg and Pretoria. And then you can see that with Muzi, I don't know, we'll hear about 4 and 5. Then with Ngube, this was part of the assault that they did, but this one was different because he was already incarcerated. So they had to deal with him emotionally and otherwise so that they can disturb him. As Munisi put it, I like how Munisi presented this case. He mentioned all elements. He said, number one, okay, towards the end, he said, even it's also hindering me because I don't hear this guy doesn't, if I take instruction from him, it doesn't make sense. What do I bring to, how do I formulate the instruction and bring here as a for his defense? Because he doesn't make sense to me. But number two, I cannot be expected to be reading and follow the proceedings and then defend him the following day or the other day, while on the other hand, I must deal with the issue of taking him out of solitary confinement. But Judge Rata is not listening to those things. He's interested to tell us that he spoke to JP. I don't know, is JP still alive? Because for the past three,
He hasn't mentioned him this
I've
year.
never heard, even when he was saying Kinisani it's a hostile witness, he said we must come next week and whatever. He never mentioned JP. Even on
He
Friday.
just wanted to go watch the World Cup.
Did you hear on Friday on Friday when Numala said I'm intending to apply for Section 3 and he said, yeah, no, you can go and prepare and come on Monday or Tuesday. Say, hey, Tuesday, why you already choose you're jumping Monday? But yeah, to this point, I'm trying to understand. That's why I was saying, even with Section 3 MU, that how can Judge Rata not listen first and then make a ruling after? Because every rule, I mean, every section that is made, that's why you've got Section 1, subsection A, subsection something. All these things is the supplement or the subsidiary of the main reason. And then laws are based on precedent. And for you to set a certain precedent, then we don't have to go and quote a case law. We can amend our whatever act so that it can cover the things that we have seen happening in multiple courts. But with Judge Rata, he doesn't listen. That's why I'm saying, in simple language, because this is a correctional service act. He cannot say, how contradictory can it be? Because he said, there's no other case. It's the only one that I quoted. But later said, I've never heard about this. Yes, you've never heard about it because it's the only
You
one.
don't know everything.
You don't know everything. Oh. Yeah, but yeah, this was meant to frustrate and we were only to find that they're making him strong.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. Mass, are you there? Or let's continue. Okay, let's continue.
Yes, I'm here, and
Go ahead.
my
Go
brother
ahead.
summed it up very well. He summed it up very well. He says no other judge can do what he does, which is true. Which is true because
I know what you're about
no
to say,
judge,
but go
no
on.
judge, no judge will do what he's doing. So he's correct. That's it. That's all I can say.
Thank you. Okay, let's go back because this is so interesting. As much as obviously I listened to this last year, but listening to it in this climate, it's a game changer. Okay, let's go. So we have about, let me see, about 10 minutes left, but there's a part 2 to this. So I don't know if you want us to continue tonight or we do another live tomorrow. I don't want to lie. I don't want to lie and say I'm going to do a live during the week, but let's see how we go. Let's see. Confinement where no other. Let's listen to the final part, and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary.
Yes, sir.
As it please the court, my lords. My instructions are that he has been in custody in solitary confinement since 2019. People have come in and.
Can I just say, for the record, I'm so proud of myself. I just think I need to pat myself on the back because one of the reasons I started doing the SENZO MEYIWA trial the way that I was doing it was in case we need to go back to the record. And then when it comes to the SABC record, it's just the raw data. So SABC is so lazy, they don't go in and add chapters for us so that when we're looking for Mjali's testimony or whoever, they don't label the video as well. So I'm just so proud of myself that we could just easily find this. Come on now, show me some love. This is brilliant. I'm so happy that we did this because I have it all documented. It is on the record, and it was very easy for me to go back to this part. And I had hoped, I still have hopes that SAPC would do this justice and clean. I mean, they can just get an intern. Did they not have journalists go to Judge Ratter's chambers? They can have them sit and do this once a day, put chapters on this, and then it will make our work so much easier. But then there's Mzansi Unfiltered. It's okay. I'll keep working on it. I'll keep working on it. Let's continue.
Went out. People who have reoffended while in prison, they've stepped police and everything. They've stepped other inmates. They went in and went out. Now, apparently, he is told that one of the reasons why he should be kept in solitary confinement is because of this case. Now, his question is, some of his colleagues that are also attending, with in this case, that is co-accused, are not in solitary confinement. So why should it be him that is in solitary confinement because of this case, when other accused that are also involved in this case are not in solitary confinement? He still insists that may the court please have passion, mercy, and compassion to allow him an opportunity to go and think of a situation or of an idea on how best could he tackle this situation. Because he says, my lord, he cannot even concentrate here at court, because each time he comes here, he's got to think about his conditions where he is housed, as to the reason why is this injustice actually being perpetrated. When he lives here, he hardly has got time to think about what has been happening here at court for that day, because he spends most of his time in solitary confinement thinking about his agonies. He's basically agonizing about his stay there.
No, fine, I hear that. He must bring an urgent application. He's got the right to do that.
In the meantime, what should then be happening? Because I've got no instructions.
In the meantime, there's nothing.
To cross-examine this witness.
No. In the meantime, there's nothing this court can do, because the Commissioner of Correctional Services has made an order. Am I correct, Mr. Balui?
Yes, indeed. And
Yeah, I mean,
we try to the best of our ability to mediate, but it's about separation of
yeah. So
powers.
that order must be set aside.
Yes, they exercise powers in terms of the Correctional Services Act.
That's it, yeah.
And
There's nothing this court can
there's
do.
much we can do.
Okay, can we just start?
This is the message, my lord. The court cannot compel me to start, my lord. I'm a creature of instructions. If I don't have instructions to start, I can't start. But this is
So,
what he's saying.
Mr.
Yes.
Are you saying if your client says you mustn't start, you're not going to start?
No, but my lord, I
No, I'm
need
just
your
asking.
instructions. I cannot act against his instructions. And this is what he's saying. Ikhoto uma ifuna ukuqhubeka ngenkani yayo, ingaqhubeka. Kodwa mina yazi ukuthi ngihlukumezekile engqondweni. Ngicabanga indlela engihlukumezeke ngayo. Those are my instructions.
I sympathize, and I'm very human about this situation. That's why I'm saying he can bring an urgent application against the Correctional Services, the Minister, the Director, and he can even cite the Department of Justice also.
May I then request, my lord, that we have an adjournment. I consult, actually I talk to legal aid and find out if there's something that I can do in respect of this, because basically he is their client. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Baloi.
It's 7 minutes to 11. Maybe we can then take the short adjournment, the normal short adjournment until about 11:30.
Okay, I'll come back at 11:30.
Baloi. He's just like, we've got 7 minutes. I was speaking on mute. Oh my goodness. I was saying, am I the problem? I do not like listening to myself. So yeah, back then I was already saying Baloi. I can't do it. I cannot listen to myself. This is crazy. So wow, that that last passion statement, Nisi loves his clients.
Mm.
It could have been very easy for another advocate to just be like, okay, whatever my lord said, we must continue, and then just dive into it. And this is like, you cannot compel me to continue. And that was the judge's only goal that day, to continue. I can't remember who the witness was at that time, but after this, they go on the adjournment and then they come back, and shockingly, legal aid says, don't worry, I got you. And that's how um accused number 3 gets his own representation for his legal aid, for removal from, what's it called, solitary confinement. I almost said correctional services, but removal from solitary confinement. And finally, and it happened to be, I don't know if it was a coincidence that it was Mlungu, but Mlungu came. She was dead serious. She told the court that correctional services is playing stupid games with her and she's not interested, and she just went pa 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 pa, pa. And yeah, that's how we see him in court in today's or timeline. And he has his locks back, not his locks, but he's grown his hair. If you see in this clip, he was always bald headed every time when he was in solitary confinement. But then now he's grown his hair again. And what else did Nisi say? Yeah, the court cannot compel me to start. I'm a creature of instruction. I have no instructions on how to cross examine this witness. And the judge is like, are you trying to say you're not going to do it? And Nisi goes, I have no instructions. I don't know what part of no instructions you don't understand. Yes, I said that. What you gonna do now? Okay, so I think we agree that we are going to end it here. Of course, I'm going to hear from the pod co-hosts, and then we're going to end it here, and then we're going to do another live stream tomorrow. So we listen to the second part. I think that will be quite insightful for us to go back in history. Did you guys like going back in history? Let me know. Any commentary from the stage?
Yeah. Ish. It's a pity the presiding officer, he's determined not to listen.
Mm.
Even now, if you check when he comes to court and court cases, every time when he try to court cases, are cases that are supporting the state. Have you ever come with a case law that support any of the witnesses that were brought by the defense? The answer is no. Then the question is why? Have you ever hear him quoting positively the witnesses that came from the defense? Positively. Because all he hears from the witnesses that comes from the defense, it's negative. He's even willing to twist what they said. So, like I said before, he just have to do the right thing and wear that red gown and be the judge. Up to so far, he's I don't know. So
It's coasting.
even now, he was not listening.
No.
He just came there. He doesn't care. He pretend as if he cares, but he doesn't. All he
And if I
wanted was to
was
finish the case and convict the accused.
if I
So
was accused number 5, I would actually use this as a case law to say, this is why I didn't come tell you about my coffee. You don't listen, and you're dismissed, and you have no solutions, and you just want to continue with the case. But I haven't had my coffee. That's the problem. But yeah.
yeah, he doesn't listen. And not necessarily he doesn't listen. He listens to what he wants to listen. Even now, he's got bodyguards that were offered by the state. So already he's biased. So that is the unfortunate thing that these accused are facing, because this is not a fair trial. That's all I can say.
Thank you. I have to say, as you mentioned the bodyguards, and then I do 1+1 is 2 from Madlanga Commission, why do I get the feeling that that whole thing was orchestrated so that he could get bodyguards and a driver? Because we haven't heard any update on that case. And we actually need justice for Judge Rutter. He's been threatened. We need to know what's going on. But Rob,
Yeah.
with no, I hope it's Rob with no relation to Vusimuzi Matlala, but just want to say, put that out there for the record.
No, we are not. We are not. And you know that it's coming tomorrow.
Matlala on Madlangas?
Hmm.
Yes, but
So,
I won't be able to watch it. Unfortunately, like once I'm engulfed in the Senzo Meyiwa trial, I can't do tours. I can't do tours. I'll just
yeah,
wait to hear the cliff notes from others.
yeah. You know, initially when we start to realize that Judge Rata is pro-state, we were a little bit on denial, and then he proved us right. Now I don't know what is he proving us. He's no longer proving us. I don't know, because
He's
we
elevating
learned.
us.
Yeah, he's taking us to another level, because he was so angry when Nimnis wanted to see the color green, lime green, and then he was also agitated when Ngube doesn't understand caramel or caramelish or something, and then he ended up saying biscuit, and then Ngube said, "No, I'm a cake money." So I want to
Mr.
add.
Solitary Confinement is a very smart young man. He's right, though. There's red
Mm,
velvet, there's
yeah.
cheesecake,
So
there's
what are you
vanilla.
talking about? Mm.
Which one?
But we have this person in a group. When the car is stuck and we need to give it a boost, he's just touching the car, but he act like he's pushing with us. He's not applying any weight and
I
pressure.
love that analogy.
That's what Rata is doing.
Yes.
Rata is acting like he's assisting, and
And then he's
especially when it comes,
announcing, I pushed, I was there, we were pushing, we were pushing.
especially when it happens from the side of the defense, he act like he's hamstrung. He can't do anything, but he's trying. Well, when it comes to the state, the funny part is that even now with this case, every time when Sibanda stood up, before he can finish his objection, Judge Rata is excited and is awake and is finishing his statement. And I'm asking myself, Rata, where did you learn about this? From the WhatsApp group? Because how do you know what this guy is going to say? And funny enough, even with other witnesses, when Baloy was leading them, or I mean, when the defense were cross-examining them, and Baloy is the one who was doing examination in chief, so which means he's the one who's going to object. Before or after he objected, Rata is helping with the case law already. He said, "Yeah, you can go and read what," and even with the British law, the case law that was given, Baloy was so excited and looking at which one. Said, "No, I'll give it to you." You can see that, as I said, he's taking us to another level. He's no longer hiding anything, because he's open that this guy is pro-state with everything. He gets irritated when the defense are objecting, and my question is, when someone is objecting, and what you do is like the proceedings are going to pause, all parties are going to listen. Then from there, the person who's supposed to respond is the one that was on the podium and you objected. then you must answer, because it's the one who said, "Objection, my lord," or maybe watching too much movie. Because in the movie, we see objection being handled very well. It's either overruled or sustained. We never heard Judge Rata from the defense side sustaining, or he always against any objection that is coming from the defense, and he sustained all the objections that are coming from the defense, and then he
It's
sustained
called
everything.
it's called
Sorry.
a one trick pony. That's all he
Yes.
knows.
Yes, because he doesn't even want to know what Balo is going to say. He's already excited and finished the statement. You can even see his lips are going up and down. You don't know what he's saying, but he's excited. He's awake. And then some people, they said Rata doesn't write when the defense are talking. No,
That's
he
true.
doesn't write. But the moment you see him writing, you must know that when you come back from a short adjournment or long adjournment, there will be some objections. Where are they coming from? They're coming from his notes.
Oh
You
my
understand?
goodness.
So sometimes when he writes, when Balo is talking, I mean, sorry, Mnisi Ramsipil Numalo equally with Mshololo busy, and Rata is writing. He's writing the points that he wants to give to the state. Whether somebody can come and try to argue that, but I'll tell you why. Because when only, let's say, for instance, when they're talking about this number, did this, he's so not interested. He's even look like he's sleeping. Don't touch Ginenda. Don't touch ballistic. Where there's man colonel, because you say Colonel Mangena has 100 cases. He went to USA, FBI, whatever. So he cannot tell you lies. So basically, what he's saying that don't touch Mangena ballistic. Don't touch DNA. Don't touch the doctor who said currently there is no gold tooth insertion. Don't touch those things, because he's going to wake up and show you that is prostate. Yeah. But we'll listen to part 2 of the solitary confinement. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll listen to it tomorrow. Just because it's about a 40-minute video clip. And it's got very interesting information. So let's do that tomorrow. I will find the time. I'll find the time. Probably let's do it
sorry,
in the evening. Yes, go ahead.
sorry, my brother Rob, you nailed it in the head. I always tell people that when Rata writes, I think he's writing notes for the state. So now you said it. Thank you very much. I've always every time when he writes, then the state are going to object.
So watch him tomorrow.
I
He's
think
going to
I
write so
think
that you guys don't observe him wrongly.
I think he needs to be investigated. That man needs to be investigated. I'm telling you, they are going to see so many things. Every time when he writes, that's when you and he what you observed. It's always that every time when I say Rata, when Balwe stand up and say he finished his statement, his sentences, how? But he's claimed that he doesn't know him from the bow of a soap. But he can finish his every statement that he says. No, come on. The late Mkombezulu said it. You are colluding with the state.
Amen.
And unfortunately, he cannot prove him wrong. Thank you very much for what you just said. Every time when you write the notes, the defense are going to talk about it. Thank you very much.
Rob wasn't here. I think he's trying to join. I didn't even notice he
I'm
had
back.
dropped
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
no.
so you were just getting your
was
flowers from Mass. He's
I was sent to solitary
celebrating.
confinement. I'm back.
That's right. So Mass was just giving you your flowers on the feedback you gave. He feels validated that yes, someone sees it too. The writing is in the walls, that the judge writes at specific times, and then there's action after he writes when it's the defense, which makes it feel like they're instructions. But on the other hand, we are going to do part 2 tomorrow. We're going to find some time, let's say 9:30-ish p.m. Yeah. Tomorrow's
Okay.
Monday. Yeah, let's say 9:30 towards 10. But I'll put out a post and let you guys know what the final time is. But this was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you for keeping me company. This is a long live. You can't say that she was late and didn't produce a great podcast for you guys. So I think I've paid back for being late today. But thank you so much. I just want to take a moment as well to thank everyone who has been here for from the start to the end. Okay, this is long. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your data. I appreciate your Wi-Fi. Let's continue to support the channel. Let's grow the channel. Let's continue to grow the channel so that we can challenge further mainstream media. Yeah, the tiny little
Yeah.
train that. Good night to everyone. I love you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Did you watch Umthetho on Netflix?
Oh, you didn't join the live on time. I spoke about
Yes.
it.
I did mention that I joined you late.
I did
No, it's
watch it.
fine.
I watched
Yeah.
it. No, let's talk. You want to give some feedback on it?
No, it's
But
fine.
no
It's
spoiler
late.
alert.
It's
Okay.
late.
So
No,
I'm actually
I
going to
watched.
do a separate video on it because I
Yeah.
think
No,
there's
let's
some
leave it like
parts
that.
there that very much SENZO MEYIWA try. It's all based on
Yeah.
fiction, but they might as well have just said real
Yeah.
enactment. That's what they should have
Yeah.
just said. Real enactment. I loved
No,
it
let's.
so much. I'm only left with 7 minutes to finish it because I fell asleep. But
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I watched
I
all 7 episodes. So yeah, let's do it at the right time. Yeah, because there's a lot of takeaways from that we can link it to iPad, we can link it to SENZO MEYIWA case and so forth. Yeah. So,
oh perfect. Okay, I feel encouraged. Okay, I'm gonna finish my 7 minutes and then I'm gonna do a video and then we're gonna do another live for that one, its own live. Yeah. So those who haven't watched it, make sure you catch up so that we're talking together in togetherness. And no, I can't share any clips because Netflix will just shut my entire channel down. They'll just be like, you're playing stupid games now. Okay. No clips. Okay. Bye. Love you so much.
good night,
Bye.
everyone. Good night, my brother.
Bye.
Good
Thank you.
night.